Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome, new people. And welcome to the final installment of the Norfolk Wizard game poster designing thing I'm doing. Very epic to have you here. And I also have some friends with me today. Now, who would like to go first to introduce themselves?
I'm trying to find out why my tab.
Oh no. Yeah. Yes, thank you very much, Salty. Yes, please go see Salty's work. It is fantastic, and she is a very, very talented artist. I'd be very disappointed if you didn't follow her, actually.
Salty is fucking cracked and inspiration.
Yes.
Sure is.
Speaking of cracked people, we have two more cracked people to introduce themselves. Now, who would like to go first out of the two?
I heard somebody grip it and rip it. I don't know who that was. You got a bit for that? Cracking it. Ah! You're
Yes, so, who else have we got here today? As you can see, we have a cast of characters. We have two more to go. We got Puppy Girl, and we got this fella at the left here.
This fella.
This fella.
this guy.
This guy,
Hello,
right.
hello, what's
This
up,
guy.
Hello, what's up?
Hello, what's up? Hello, what's up?
I'm Hulky Crow. I'm a professional
Yes.
internet clown and voice actor. I'm Tengu. I'm actual monster dad, I guess. That's kind of part of the brand I did now.
That's just the vibe.
I do funny things for funny people like Alpha Pizza and their other cool things I cannot talk about.
Yes.
But like I said, I'm a clown on the internet. I like getting hurt for people's pleasure. It's very funny.
Wait.
You're right. I get hurt for myself and my friends.
Dance, Pagliacci, dance.
Yes. You can find me at Hulky or twitch.tv/HulkyCrow or at Twitter. Oh.
All of... Yes, they are very epic, and as you can see, another bit of evidence as why Salty is very fucking epic. And last, but certainly not least, we have a fucking puppy girl, and her name is...
My name's... I'm the library. And, I'm a voice actor. I've been a voice actor for about 15 years as a hobbyist.
Yeah.
And I am also getting into my professional authorship and being an artist.
Yeah. Actual real life book in person, in real life, and book in person.
This story writes itself.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm taking that.
Your story brought
Look at that.
show. Yes, and...
You can find me on all the social index. Right now, my main focus is on my own TT. Fabula Ultimate. Anime and art JRPG shenanigans.
Yes, you should go and check them out. They are very, very good at that. And they're also looking back into, what was it, like map designing and maybe some other stuff. And they love to ask me questions, so when I'm drawing, like, if there's going to be a question, it's going to come from Paige.
I usually just, like, burst into the host, like, hey, art teacher. Art lessons, please. Art the art teacher.
Yes, give me the art lesson now. I need to do this, please. Please. But it is cute. It's alright. I enjoy questions. And if you guys have questions in chat, feel free to ask and I will see them and I will voice them out loud. No donations, channel bits, anything necessary because I'm pretty small, so no worries. Anyway, these guys are joining me for designing Parker Knickerbocker's poster, and we are in the first, we're in the brainstorming stage right now, which is why I invited them all down, because I will admit, I was thinking about it leading up to the stream. He has a very cool power, very cool avatar. But I kind of don't want it to be like basic, basic idea. I want to like push it a little bit, see if we can come up with something a bit more interesting, like design-wise. And yep, I would like any suggestions in chat as well. I'm always open for suggestions, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we come up with. Yeah. So we got an art board that we're going to put some stuff on here. Yeah. So if you guys have any ideas. Now, I have had a thought about like colors-ish. Now, I quite like the idea of like kind of like, something like quite like yellow and blue. So, and maybe like a little bit more cosmic, which is why I kind of had a look at this sort of palette right here as well. So it's quite blue. Because for the other poster designs that I have done previously, Sybil's is very red based. Samson's is very like dark, like quite a nice like dark reddish brown with like a blue highlight. And Bill Morgan's poster is like a very light blue, like with some like purple, like pink undertones. So I want to try and like push that, see if we can come up with something that would look nice alongside all the other ones. But see what we come up with, really. But I like these two palettes, especially at the moment. Also, hello, Yoji. Hello. Welcome, welcome. We are just brainstorming right now our Parker's poster. If you have any suggestions or if you have any ideas, feel free to let us know in the chat. Hell yeah. But yeah. We love to see it. Oh, I did actually come across this as well. This is interesting. But this sort of reads more like beachside rather than this one here. Happy to buy.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel that on a spiritual level.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay, so what else have we got? So, one of the first things I was coming up with, like, sketch-wise, it's kind of like do that. But kind of like, you got the avatar there. And it's kind of like, like those, like, galaxy formations? Like, where it's, like, kind of like a cloud? Like, sort of like, you got a galaxy cloud going up, and then you have... Because I remember in the audio episode... he was kind of like on this kind of like plinth thing, like this sort of disc just floating in space, and you kind of just got this cloud avatar that kind of forms the shape. Also, hello Ruby, hello, welcome. We are designing Parker Knickerbocker's poster, but I'm thinking like something like this where he's just fucking tiny, so it really shows like the scale. Because we have... actually, let me get the other posters up so we can kind of see what we're kind of comparing it to. Let me have a look. Let's see if it fucking kills my program. Let's see if it kills it. There we go. Didn't kill it. No, you're wrong. It didn't kill it, actually. You're incorrect.
My
kill your program.
No, actually, no. No.
Power.
If you want to suck up all the bandwidth, let's get Bremblo.
Shut up.
We left him behind.
Alright, so we got Sybil's. We got Sam's. So I went a little bit hard with the red and the yellows for these two here. And the paint.
Paint.
Origin to paint. Yes. But, yeah, I'm thinking... I am thinking something like this, because then it will complement them. But wait. Wait. Oh, Ruby also suggests something. Could do him sitting on a pile of his own collection. That could be cool. That could be epic. I'm hearing you out. Yeah. Hear you out. Okay. I got the brown. Yeah. Okay. With the peak of maroon. Maybe like a greenish. Oh, yeah, I know which one you mean. Yeah, like that. Almost. Yes. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, yes. Very lovely. So this is the palette that Salty just sent me. Yeah, this is the palette Salty just sent me. Yeah.
I can hear Salty fun.
I can hear everybody.
I can hear everybody. What's wrong? I can't hear Salty. Can anyone else? Yoji? What's going on? Hang on. Oh. Okay, you know what's really funny, Salty? The audio mixer is genuinely not picking you up, even though you're in the same call, and it's picking up everyone else.
Audio mixer is biased. It is offensively prejudiced
against this. The audio mix is fucking racist.
Fuck!
I'm gonna see if there's anything wrong with it because this is very funny. Yeah, no. Okay, let's try that. Try now. Everyone else? Yeah, no, it didn't pick you up again.
Fuck!
Okay, you yelled enough. I think it's because I don't know. It's okay. I'm gonna turn you up. See if that works.
So fucking weird.
Okay, I need to turn you up more.
OBS was A.
There we go. Okay, it's picking up now. For some reason, it wasn't picking you up at your volume level, even though everyone else was at the same volume level. It didn't even pick up that. What the hell?
Nation.
Oh, fuck. I know what it might be. Oh, shit. Hang on. It might have been my fault.
Have the anti-European trans filter on?
I did have the anti-European trans filter on. It was called the noise gate.
Yeah, it typically is, like, if you think about it, that is the norm for everyone in the Isles.
So. Yeah, I just put on the British filter. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. You can hear. Congrats.
Yeah. Congratulations, everybody. We've freed the Europeans from their silence.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The rest of the world will revel.
Oh my god.
They will be heard.
Anyway, back
what do you think of that color? That color range?
I think it's very pleasant on the eyes, and I think you are. This is why we have you around.
It evokes like classic Greek, like before all the ivory like fading.
Yeah, it invokes like antiquity. It invokes weird relic you found in museum. Instead of and like the idea of it rather than how they actually look.
So I kind of like, speaking of antiquity, I kind of like the idea of Parker being posed in like a Renaissance way, because Ruby had a really good idea with him being perched on top of all this shit. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of see it happening. So I got that bit done, but I'm just kind of wondering what to do for the other bit around here. So like, kind of like this. Stuff that's like around here. Like maybe a wallpaper, like something along those lines. Maybe some statues in the background. Maybe we can have the petrified man in the background there.
We have petrified man at home.
He sits on the petrified man's lap. Making it real fucky weird.
Just a little bit strange, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make him sit on his back, so it looks like just a mound of concrete. But if you look close, it's fucking weird.
Hang on. Let me copy that over real quick, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Salty, I just wanted to say thank you for the art advice the other day.
Of course, I'm
Just,
willing to give art advice at all times.
Draw someone in like an outfit, or like just draw fan art.
Yeah, just draw fan art.
Just draw fan art.
Drawing a little
Draw
a little fun guy of Hulky.
Yeah, just draw like legit. Here's a tip for anyone who is listening: if you ever have an art block, just do fan art.
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 So maybe more like, I mean, this technically is like fan art. It's more like me trying to figure out how to make a series of images look good together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also just kind of like exploring composition and stuff.
Yeah, it's second party art.
Yeah.
Third party art is fan art. First party art is official. Second party art is I work at the company who makes this thing, but I made fan art of the thing that I'm not a part of.
Also, Bajongles one says, you are subjecting the audience to your British filter. How could you? I curse you with stinky bread.
But there's good bread in England.
Yeah, we got the best bread in England, actually. You got really good bread. Very fibrous.
It would be weird if you didn't have the best bread in England.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, you'd be surprised. Like, we have the best bread in England. I'm just saying, man.
Goddamn sugar bread.
England. It would be weird if it wasn't there.
Yeah, but it's just like the best bread in England, though. That's the point, you know.
I see.
Yeah,
It's the best bread in England,
it is
mate.
the best bread in England.
Yeah, but shit bread.
Maybe it's like, maybe it can kind of like cast. Hang on, I'm gonna zoom in so we can have a bit more detail. Maybe it can like kind of cast Kate down a bit. He has his foot resting on that, and then he has like the staff he used.
Oh, do you want an actual like Renaissance art piece reference, or do you wanna because whatever, haha, funny, or do you wanna or do you wanna keep away from that?
I would like a reference, actually. That'd be quite fun.
Okay. Going on my search.
On your little search. And then it kind of like, also like they did that, maybe there's like lighting almost a little bit backlit that way. So it kind of comes that way, but then the rest of him is a bit, so his shoulders showing up, half his face is there.
So whenever I think about your art in terms of how you do pretty like it's not a one-to-one obviously, but in the way that you do very brown shadows on a lot of things, like they aren't pitch black, they are like just slightly hewn out from something else.
Yeah, I do like my brown shadow.
Yeah, and how you do like focus on faces rather than anything else, and other things tend to become more like, you know, more or less framings for faces. I thought that Vasquez would be a cool artist to take inspiration from. I don't know.
Ooh, Vasquez.
That's the triumph of Bacchus by Diego Bacchus.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now we're cooking.
Yeah, they were a Spanish artist during the Renaissance.
The Renaissance. The Renaissance always had some bangers. Also, look at this chat.
Yeah.
A little bit of history for you.
Yeah, it's Velasquez. It's Velasquez, guys. Look, it's Velasquez.
It's fucking Velasquez, man.
Velasquez.
Velasquez, yeah, man.
Look, it's Bacchus hanging out with some random duders.
Hell yeah.
Los Barachos.
But yeah, no, I do love how they do the shadows here, where it's very. Yes.
I thought him sitting down,
Mm.
like Bacchus is sitting down with his cane that he took out from the
Ooh.
from the grandfather clock would be kind of cool.
Ooh. No, I'm picking up what you're putting down actually.
Yeah. So instead of holding the laurel, he is steadying himself on the cane. Would be kind of cool. And then he could be sitting on top of a cinder block that might actually just be a person.
Yeah, exactly. Let's have a look. Okay, let's try.
By the way, everyone, it's always super cool to look at really funny haha hoo-hee old art and then go, wait a minute, what the fuck is that? And then you realize that someone did like a really cool little like painting effect or like a little technique here and there, and you go, wait, I'm doing that, and then you recognize your own techniques in some of like the older masters and stuff like that. It's super duper cool when you recognize.
It's validating.
Yeah. That you learned without like knowing who this person was. You learned that you have something in common with them. I think that's pretty cool. And
it is very cool.
Like, wait, so does that mean that I can? And then you look at their art. And now you can like get a mirror into the same like mindset that they probably also arrived at the same ideas, the same structure from a different perspective than you did. And thus you can learn a little bit from looking at their art and being like, oh my god, if they can do this, I can probably try that. And then you translate it into your own stuff.
So you loosen that a little bit. Also, this is from a bit ago, but Yoji asks, is it a bread bun, bap, roll, or cake? For me, it's a bread roll. That's how I refer to it.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but it's just the language for wherever you are in the country, because a bap is more like Midlands and like northern, and then a bread cake I think is even more northern, like almost Scottish, I think. Yeah. But then again, I could be wrong, because the furthest north I've been is fucking like Leamington Spa, which is just barely touching the Midlands. I'm gonna make him skinny because he is a twink.
True.
It's a twink.
Very true.
He is so twink code.
The twink moidal Parker Knickerbocker.
Yes. Holy moly. Thank you so much, Bojangles. I almost said Bojangles, but it's Bojangles. Thank you for following.
Bojangles.
No. Holy moly. Holy moly.
Holy moly.
Listen, I'm very happy I chose that as my follows.
I would have said Bojangles as well.
I know. Yeah, it says Twink Maxine. You are correct. You're correct. You're correct. You know what this is. You know what this is about right now.
Yeah,
you know
that's why I went. Do you want a picture of Dionysus?
Massive Twink Maxine. It's hard to imagine that the standard for Dionysus would be considered like twink death. Crazy.
What?
No, like Dionysus is described to actively be so feminine that you do not know his gender upon first glance.
Oh shit, you're right. I apologize. My mythology brain is not very good for Dionysus.
It's his Roman equivalent that is, if anything, twink death.
Twink death.
I learned something new today. I always learn something new when I hear salty.
Yeah, twink death.
Adding Bacchanalian twink death to my research topics.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think the Romans depicted him like in differentials? And of course, as stated in previous statements of me, the Mediterranean myths were different between every single city.
Why do you think the Romans took so many boy wives? It was to avoid twink death.
That's right. No,
so real.
The reason why Dionysus can be depicted as both the twinkiest of twinks and also a fat man, like a fat old man who's balding and drinking and looks like a fucking oaf, is the fact that they were different between each and every place. Like every city had their own versions of each of the tales. And then the Romans came along. By the way, that's a statement you can put on a shirt because that is literally most of European history.
Yeah.
Cool differential cultures happen. And then the Romans came along.
Yeah.
And Romans had this new invention that they had created called canonization.
And this new invention was also called twink death.
Yes, canonization literally means that you make something canon. Whenever
oh my
you
god.
Canon, it's due to them.
Oh my god.
It's
my god.
It's a tool to keep people from debating one another. As we all know, that didn't really work.
Yeah,
that didn't really work out for the Romans in the long term.
No, and like in general, like these days we have people who discuss what is canon or not all the time, right? In like stories or myth or whatever. But in reality, it was the Romans who sort of invented canonism and the entire idea of going, no, there should be one straight line of what is actually true. Instead of, what might be different from two different settlements, where one settlement who is, an island nation considers Poseidon to be the king of the gods. That makes sense. While a nation that is land-bound would consider perhaps Zeus to be king of the gods. That makes sense. But when the Romans came along, they went, there should just be one king of the gods, so there won't be any question of maybe there could be a different king, and then look at reality and go,
what if we try to emulate that?
Yeah, what if we try to emulate that? What if we depose the emperor?
They were like, wait.
Why is Rome on fire now?
Yeah, exactly. So in that sense, Romans took a bunch of other cultures and they canonized them. And we have sadly lost a bunch of things for that. If you ever wonder why there are so many tales of Zeus being an absolute weirdo, doing weird shit, that is most likely because it's multiple different cities' versions of the same story. Retold into multiple instances and going like, it's all canon.
It's all canon. It's just like Tumblr.
It's all canon.
Okay, there we go. So basically, I'm just blocking out the basic shapes at the moment. But this is the vibe. So we kind of got the guy, but then we also got like maybe some like vintage brass bits, because I think that could add some really interesting bits there.
Yeah,
maybe using the green
to stick out between the blue.
Holy moly, Ed Dragon Cap Man. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Alright. But also, you're gonna love this, Salty. I decided to put in the background this sort of like painting, right? Because I feel like that could also add some really nice framing contrast.
Oh, yeah.
Boxing.
Yeah.
We love boxing. We love boxing.
We love boxing.
We love boxing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm pretty happy with this. And I think we can add a little bit more as time goes on. So I'm just going to pop that in a group. And I'm going to copy that over. Pop it over here. Whoa, blow it up. I'm going to blow it up.
So what food have you all eaten?
Ooh, I had steak and salad.
I had a little maple griddle cake sandwich.
Ooh.
Some sausage, egg, and some Cajun hot sauce.
That's pretty epic.
I will say though, steak and salad, one of the best fucking like meals in the world. Is just
Very true.
meat and salad.
Big food.
And if you add bread to that, you basically have a sandwich.
Oh, I had boiled meat potatoes with mine as well. So I basically had like, I had a good carb. I had a good carb.
The chat box seems to be broken on stream.
The what?
I was gonna mention that. It's frozen from the start of the stream.
Oh no! What happened?
Why did you do that?
I don't know, mate.
Sophie, why did you do that?
I don't know, mate. I don't
Sophie,
know.
it's all over now. We have to restart the stream. Restart your progress. Throw it all away.
I'm gonna throw it away. We've been streaming for an hour. It's fine.
Just grab the same chat.
Yeah.
First, then reapply it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. There we go. Pop out chat. There we go. Let's see if that works. Okay, there we go. We've updated a bit.
How about we try something hard? Something like a trap beat.
A trap beat.
No.
Whip up! Thank you, Swindy Sucks. Thank you for the follow. We do pop. We are popping. We're popping, and I don't know, maybe some other things as well. I'm not sure yet. All right. Yeah, some trap beats. I'm really mad as well because if copyright didn't exist, I would happily play like UK grime on my streams. But you know what? I gotta give the people what they want. And the people being
myself, and I.
Me, myself, and I, and also the lawyers. Can you tell Salty to scream louder, says Swindy Sucks.
I know, I'm sorry that people can't hear me properly.
What the hell is going on?
You need to scream louder.
I'm sorry.
Also, your VOD will just be muted. I mean, yeah, but also I might get into trouble.
No, see, the thing is, if anything, that since you have separated your audio, like you have done that, it won't pop up on your VOD, meaning that as long as you have it in track 2, it shouldn't actually appear in your VOD. So you can play whatever you wanna. Just don't play Daft Punk. Daft Punk actually sends copyright claims live.
Yeah, no, I don't know why Daft Punk are so, like, litigious. It's crazy. Okay, we're gonna actually move that down, and we're gonna turn you into a multiply layer. There we go.
Get a nice trap beat. Give me some Joey Valence and Bray.
They're daft, that's why, yeah. They're living up.
Daft Punks.
They're living up to the name, mate. Trust me, mate.
Play What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers.
What a fool believes. Alright, let's see if this works.
You're just talking about my autobiography at that point.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it.
Fuck it, Doobie Brothers moment. Let's go. I don't care anymore. There we go. Everyone grooving, everyone vibing.
Yeah.
You vibing, chat?
Yeah.
You better be vibing. I fucking love Joey Valance and Bray. Such a great mention, Honky. Yeah, they're good. I like them.
Is Discord popping off with all the pings?
Thank you to Salty for showing them to me. Very funny.
I'm glad we all share the same brain cell for music. It's very funny.
Yeah.
What is this band you're talking about?
Joey Valance and Bray. We'll play some after this. It'll be fine.
JVP.
JVP.
Yeah.
But they also did a song with Aisha Erotica, and that makes me very happy.
Right?
I know.
Very good.
I quite like their song Gumdrop. That's been on my replay back last year when they first released it.
I know they're like old at this point, but
Mm.
I've started to re-listen to Doobie Brothers.
I mean, if you find gold, who cares how old it is?
Yeah, and like,
Just make sure it's not cursed.
yeah, like it's the Doobie Brothers. They do like, it's just the 70s and 80s in a bottle, like captured, and you listen to it and you go, oh yeah, dude, this was from an era where half of the population either did weed or cocaine.
Yes, it's one or the other.
Or
There's
both.
no in between. Absolutely no in between, obviously. Actually, you know what's a really good like band from that era?
Mm.
Dire Straits.
Mm.
I do like Dire Straits.
Indeed. I am also a partial lover of Laranduino Almeida, who did The Lamp is Low. The Lamp is
Ooh.
Low is like a song that has really important like meanings for me. But most people know it as that one really good guitar sample that Nujabes used.
Fucking hell. Reducing your very heartfelt comfort song into the guitar.
What do you mean reduce? It's what's used by Nujabes. It was enhanced.
Speaking of like dearly departed greats like Nujabes, what do you think the music scene or like the world would be like if Nujabes or Queen or Kurt Cobain didn't pass? Or, I mean, not Queen. I always blank out on the Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
God, I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah, no, Freddie Mercury was famously very much into the idea of, I don't care. I don't care, like, wherever anything goes, as long as we do something that, like, is fun. I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think Freddie would be super duper based nowadays.
I think Freddie would
even
be
more
super
so.
based. If anything, I think Freddie Mercury, from how he acted back in the past, he might have become a bit of an old head at some point. But but I will say that he would probably, assumingly from how he was towards his later years, albeit, you know, with the face of death staring back at him, he was very much into the idea that he didn't care if his music was like sampled or altered or whatever, as long as it was fun, as long as it was cool, as long as you kept on making shit with it, instead of like, don't sell like the 50th stupid remaster of my own songs. Please don't do that.
Alright, someone go get a necromancer. We gotta revive Mercury. No. Now it's just ethical at that point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the one individual who I think, like, in general, would have been even bigger now if it's because he started to get super duper 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 big. He was always influential, but he got super big towards like the 2 last years of his life, and then he sadly fell off the branch and died. Right? That was MF Doom.
Nah, I actually got lore about MF Doom.
Well,
So basically, MF Doom came to England when he was having his issues, right?
yeah.
And essentially, the main thing that killed him was NHS waiting times.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of fucked, mate.
It's super fucked.
Yeah. Like he was waiting for hours, like during like a medical emergency.
Yep.
That's just like.
It's fucking weird. It's stupid. And I hate it because it came from nowhere. Like, there, in the sense of, there was no active like, oh, this is going to kill me, let's start working again. It was a thing that happened and he didn't get help fast enough. Yeah,
It's crazy.
it was out of nowhere, and like, he was picking up so many new listeners during those last few years that he had. It's so sad to see him like go super successful for a bit and then disappear because he was always like influential, right? But the fact that he got such a springboard of just not for dying, not because he died, and then all of a sudden he dies.
Yeah. You know what's actually another artist who hits that like note for me? Like that I'm like, fuck, you died at like a really like it could have been so good kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sophie. Not not me, I'm not being a fucking narcissist. I mean like the hyperpop artist Sophie who I think died back in 2021. Because she did some fantastic fucking shit, like groundbreaking. Like like sampled pretty much everywhere, and it was her work that inspired like, you know, stuff like 100 gex and like Charlie XCX and like all this other stuff, and it's just like, oh, genuinely, she died literally before she like became just before she became like mainstream, and then all her work became mainstream after she died, and it was just like, oh my god, oh my god, crazy.
But it is what it is, right? Can't change that shit.
I remember being so sad when I found out she died as well. It's crazy. Might play some stuff after this actually, because her product album, it's very good. By the way, chat, if you would also like some more music, or if you have a posthumous artist you would also like to play, feel free to ask.
Play What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brother.
Hang on, I'm listening to Aisha Erotica. Everyone shut up.
For the sake of the for like the jiggly bits for the little man. Big question here, Ty.
Big question.
Big question?
What layer should I put the teeth on for line art? Do you think? Should that go with the berg so that it jiggles with the berg?
What?
Oh no, you want to make that separate.
Okay.
What?
Because honestly, you're better off making more layers rather than less layers, because the less layers you have, the less flexible it is to like correct mistakes later.
For what?
I want to turn one of Paige's pieces into something on After Effects, and I need there to be multiple layers.
Ah, yeah.
The little fuzzy dude that I showed the other day on the server was like, yeah, look, I found this little guy who looks like Hulky.
It's just a little guy.
Little man.
Ayo. Parker out here with the fucking clown shoes, the big ass feet. Doublet 3A, hell yeah. Look at that little guy go. Also, Salty, I have to say, I love what you did with that little emote. The little grooving fletchling.
Yeah, he's grooving.
I'm so happy.
He's dancing, he's bopping.
You took the concept and you ran. You sprinted. Olympic level sprinting.
Keep going.
Why not Olympic level break dancing?
It was a new thing.
Apparently it went over so mixed that they're not going to be bringing it back.
Okay. We're taking a quick break because I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this right now. So the main reason it's been received kind of poorly is because in the women's breakdancing there was an Australian breakdancer, but she wasn't actually like a proper well, she was like a breakdancer, but she was more like into the teaching side of it. She was, you know, she had like a degree in like, I think it was like cultural psychology and applications at a university. And basically what ended up happening was she applied to be part of breakdancing for the Olympics because she did have technically the qualifications, but because so little people applied for it, she got in like because so little people applied for it, right? Right. Now, Swindy sucks. Okay. So she did execution-wise, yes, she wasn't great. But you want to know something interesting? You want to know something really interesting, guys?
Yeah.
Because like her degree is in this like her degree is based on breakdancing and like cultural applications of it. She did a dissertation, like a paper saying like, you know, what does the International Olympic Committee have like by taking this very grassroots interesting like sport, dance form, whatever. What does it have like taking this very grassroots thing and then turning it into a competition where it's like sponsored, it's capitalized, it's gutted and taken apart and made to be formal? What does that mean for actually like
expression?
Exactly. So I think part of it is like, yeah, she wanted to like bring attention to what she was actually talking about and what kind of applications making a grassroots thing into a formal sport is. But also, I think I'm wondering if she did do it like intentionally, like maybe a little bit badly to kind of make her point, if that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like in a few weeks we might be seeing something very interesting from her end, I reckon. But I don't know, like she wasn't bad because she was delusional. She might have been bad because she was making a point. Swindy sucks, that would be 4D chess. Yeah. It would be 4D chess. And also quite smart, to be fair.
Whoa.
Like, imagine, like, for a majority of your education, you're studying this thing that's very grassroots and very cool. And then the Olympic Committee just comes in and is like, oh, we're gonna like make it formal and we're gonna like, you know, make, you know, people who compete like Olympic athletes and shit, and also we're gonna give you guys sponsors if you do well, blah 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 blah. I don't know, it is interesting. Adding it to the Olympics would be optimizing the fun out of it, as it were. Yes, I agree. Now, I mean, cringe is probably one of the strongest human defense mechanisms. Yeah, it is one of the strongest human defense mechanisms. No one likes to cringe, like, unintentionally. I'm trying to think of how his sweater's meant to look, because I feel like he's quite big. But I think maybe if I sort of tuck in his back a little bit more. You hear the bronze medals are cheap tat. I have not actually. Tell me more. What's the lore behind that? Joe. By the way, Salty, what did you have for dinner?
I had asparagus and potatoes.
Ooh, asparagus.
Asparagus and potatoes.
Fuck yeah, that's pretty epic. I haven't had asparagus in ages, actually. I should get some. Wow.
Hey, Hulky. Did he step away?
He's muted, so he might have stepped away.
He's studying his clipboard very keenly. Look at him go.
We were joking about the odification of character designs. Ichiro Oda.
The odification that's the One Piece guy, yeah.
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 I just realized I'm making this guy's nose look like Kaku.
The odification process is completing. It's like what's that like? What's the crab one? Carcinification?
Arsenization.
Yeah, it's like that, but art.
Everything evolves into crab.
Everything evolves into Oda. Gumdrop, baby pop, girly pop, ice pop, gumdrop, baby pop, girly pop, ice pop. Apparently, in the last few years, bronze medals from the Olympics have been increasingly rubbish. Cheaper medals, bad finish, they flake and tarnish in weeks. Yoji says, yo, you're turning them into Odoroshi? No, not Odoroshi. Oda from the mangaka for One Piece. Because only silver and gold medals have rules about composition. Ooh, that is interesting. So what you're telling me is that... Ooh. Sorry, Ruby just messaged me. Well, didn't just message me. It messaged me like 30 minutes ago and I didn't check because I am a fool. But what do you think of that, actually?
I'm liking it.
Like, this is... So this is more like, I do like that. I just feel like maybe it might be a bit similar composition-wise to Samson Tuttle's. But I don't know.
What if we flip it?
Oh?
What if we flip it?
What if we flip it? Pepper, what if we flip it? Foolish fool of foolishness. I think that's me. I don't check my messages. I'm a nightmare to work with. Ooh. Hang on, let me just quickly pop this away in its own layer. Thank you very much, Ruby. Yeah, I quite like the idea that it's a bit more like this. So it's a bit more like focused in, and then okay, and then okay, we're cooking, guys. We're cooking. We're cooking real quick.
I thought we were drawing.
We're cooking and drawing at the same time.
Whoa.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
You sure you can do that?
I can. I got my license for it. Trust me.
Damn.
I mean, if you do it too hard, it might go Food Wars level.
Listen, are you guys prepared for Food Wars level?
I mean, I'm always here for Food Wars level art.
Yeah. Yeah, fusion hobby. Multitasking is legal if you got the license. Also, Yoji got their driving license recently. Hell yeah. Let's go, Yoji.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Now you can fucking leave wherever you are. Alright. I do like the idea of like some kind of picture like framing him a little bit. I do like the idea for that. But I also do like the staff. Maybe if it's like properly a bit more extended out.
The stendo.
You stendo.
Hit him with the stendo.
The stendo. By the way,
what Harry Potter spell is that?
Your mum's Harry Potter spell.
Ah.
Oh, I don't know if you'll ever financially recover from that one.
I'm fucking dead.
Fucking dead over one of your mama joke. Your stamina's not it, bruv. Trust me.
Be right back. I gotta make sure the door is unlocked because it's almost that time of day.
Yeah. Epic. By the way, Paige was just talking, Hulky, earlier about the odification process.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whether
Odification.
you are skinny, lanky beanpole, the chunkler, or strange wall of meat.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you reckon I would classify as? I don't know.
Probably beanpole.
Probably
Beanpole Oda.
Beanpole.
I would say so. You are still woman who is not as wide as she is tall. You will be beanpole.
Yes, that is the Oda way. Yes, Oda way.
Looks at early Oda shit. Remember when he drew women differently? I remember. And then you do get a few really cartoony looking women, and I go, yeah.
He is comfortable now.
Yeah, and then it doesn't appear again. And I go like, what the fuck, man? I know you can do this.
Oda, I have seen you do it. Come on, man. Be brave. Be brave. Come on.
Yeah.
What are we being brave about?
Oda drawing women in different fonts.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot my art gloves. Not on the table.
Your art? You have gloves for art?
Yeah, because I'm someone that like rests their palm for like support in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't have like the hanging arm thing yet.
Yeah, no, I just raw dog it, dude. I just raw dog my art. I don't know what you're on about.
You should get an art glove. It will also help you from not starting to polish the surface of your pen tablet.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. That's actually a good point, because I do have a nice shiny bit, like I'm one of those,
You do, don't ya?
I do.
I'll fucking do it. I'll fucking do it.
Oh, how did you know?
Without protection.
How did you know? You draw without protection? Yeah, man, I just raw dog my tablet.
God damn. Is that even TOS?
Listen, Twitch can do whatever the fuck it wants. I can say whatever I want. It's a democracy. I can say if I'm raw dogging my tablet.
God damn it. You're reading this shit out of context.
Listen, no one's gonna clip it. Right, guys? Right?
No.
For now. For now.
No.
For now. I am currently unclippable. Is this Yuri? Is this Yuri? I don't know. It's speaking of sexualizing objects, Hulky.
I don't like that transition. But okay, what? Shoot.
Remember that game we saw a while back?
Oh yeah, date everything.
Yeah.
I still want to get a sponsored stream for that. I'm like, hey, let me show off your game. Let me put the real Hulky Crow charm on it. Let me date my house.
Listen, I am very good at actually dating my house, so you should let me do it in a video game. Trust me.
There's a video game about that.
Yeah. There's a
video game where you date parts of your house.
Yeah.
I heard about it.
You know what, guys? You know,
It's not just parts of your house, it's everything.
Yeah.
There's
also a dating sim where you do your taxes.
I will never play that game.
I thought it was like a scam. I thought it was a scam.
It's true. Talk about unrealistic expectations. My God.
Yeah.
Unrealistic, immoral. Me, a patrician, I would much rather play Sucker for Love.
Yes. I'm also gonna send Salty the announcement trailer for Date Everything. So we can hear the raw, unfiltered reactions from the Salty Jub.
No, I've seen this already.
Oh, you have? Oh, I was under the impression you didn't.
Yeah, no, I'm happy that they went like hard on some of the designs. Like, yo, what the fuck? That's pretty fucking baller.
They did go pretty hard.
Yeah, on some of them, and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? You didn't need to do that. Then there are some designs like, okay, but wait, you made the fridge into a Yeti, man. Why aren't there other ones like Cool Monster People? That's kind of weird. Like, what the fuck? That's kind of weird and silly, but I know that you just want to do the applicative for everyone, but hear me out. Hear me out. If the piano was as heavy as the piano is, if that lady was as tall and heavy as the piano is, she could fucking crush me like a cartoon, like falling from on high and just bong sound and I get squashed. Like, if that thing happens, I'm happy.
In case you're wondering, everybody, Salty does in fact have a type.
My type is every person who is taller than me. It's very easy.
Yeah, and how tall are you in real life?
I'm 5'4".
Oh my God, you're small.
Yeah, actually tiny.
When I actually had a good build, I weighed 225.
Oh.
Oh my God.
I am built like a cube.
You're built like an anchor.
Hold on, I've got an image for this. Hold on. Where is it?
Image.
I am
Saved somewhere.
what they refer to as anvil shaped.
Image.
I already got it. I'm gonna post it in the VC chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Real salty image.
What the fuck?
In case you're wondering,
said.
everyone.
just
Why
going off
are
of what
you
said.
leaking images of me?
Actual.
I'm sorry.
actual-
It's in my nature.
There we go.
I'm sorry for the doc salty.
Hang on. I gotta do something real quick. Hang on.
Why do you dox me?
No.
What the fuck?
Oh. 1 sec. 1 sec. Christ.
There you are. Where's the pointy T?
No! What the fuck?
Actual salty jump in it.
That's so mean.
You're right, I'm sorry.
It's
Are you
so
really?
mean of you guys. It's just like with my own community sending pictures and videos of like weird dogs and going, heh, you.
Hey, you.
They've started doing it more.
Yes, open up Clip Studio. Yes. What are you gonna do? Yes.
More
Yes.
people send more and more videos of little dogs doing weird shit. And I'm like, that's not me.
That's not me.
Why are you keep on doing this?
That's not me, mate. It's just I think they might just be interpreting your energy at a very base level, my guy. That might be it. They're not experiencing the full salty depth, you know.
I just got messaged by you're right, this is you. I hate this.
Salty dog picture incoming. Yeah, you're about to be like inundated, my friend.
Sigrid sent this to me yesterday.
Literally everyone stopped fighting to laugh at me.
You gonna be okay there?
Hang on, I need to show chat this.
Why do people do this? It's so mean. Stop bullying me.
They do it because they love you.
Bullying hyphens affectionate.
Why do they go, haha, that's you?
Haha, that's you. You just have a very specific energy, I feel.
What the fuck?
And also a very funny reaction, being like, it's not me. No.
It isn't! I'm not like that! Stop laughing!
I'm trying not to wake up my parents.
What the fuck?
I'm not laughing. Even though I have a deeply bitch. I'm not laughing.
Oh my god. No bullying, no. Yeah, trust me, Twitch is gonna send me like a PSA, they're gonna send me to a course for bullying short people.
That's right.
Yeah, I know it in my
I'm just gonna be
soul.
quiet about my height.
You're shorter than Salty, aren't you?
I'm just gonna be quiet about
You're
my
you're shorter than Salty, aren't you?
I'm just gonna be quiet about my height.
You know what, guys?
5'3".
Yes.
Very, very hilarious. I'm taller than both of you.
That's funny. That's funny. Point at a short person and laugh.
Oh, how the turntables. Oh my god.
That's right. Short person.
Damn, I've been got.
You've been got. Mate, your gut can't even go on the fucking roller coaster, you're that short. I don't know. Young people have weird language nowadays.
5'3" woman next to 5'4" woman.
Incessantly bullied. Maybe a bit more curved. I'm kind of liking the shape that Ruby sent in a lot better, I will say.
Yeah, he looks like an ornery guy. On
Love
top
that
of
you're
a
in 6
mountain.
foot. Nothing wrong with being short. I'm 5'5". It just gives me more chances to get a taller girlfriend, and that is the optimism you need in life.
That's the mindset.
That's
the mindset.
That's the mindset. That's the grind set. That's the chance of getting a taller girlfriend, baby.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
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 I just had a really naughty idea. Do you want to hear my naughty idea?
But I can't help but hear
Paige?
that in the Courage the Cowardly Dog voice.
Paige?
Yes.
Do not be flustered. This is normal.
Why do you think I'm this pure? I have an emote dedicated to being anti-say-so.
Well, I'm about to make it worse. Anyway, guys, so what I'm thinking, right, is, so you see how, so basically I've started thinking, what if I have, like, the petrified guy's face here, and he's just leaning on his face, and he's kind of, like, defending himself here.
Elbow in the face.
Oh, well, but that's not the naughty bit, guys. That's not the naughty bit. So you see, do you see where the staff is?
Yes. I do see where the staff is, yeah. What about it?
So, we got the leg here.
No, yeah, no.
Here.
I see.
Yeah. But maybe it kind of comes down here, so it's obvious it's like a staff. But there's just like a tiny bit of like a funny, just a little bit of like, you know, there's a little bit of it, you know, it's just it's up to interpretation, my dear.
I think Drew's nailed it on the head.
Cup check.
Cup check.
Cup check. Cup check. I'm gonna kind of maybe continue on this thought path. It hasn't done me wrong yet, so far. We'll see where it takes me. We'll see where the journey in my brain goes.
Gotta put some weird sexuality in a picture, otherwise it ain't fun to look at.
Exactly. It's the
If
them's
it
the
wouldn't make
rules.
HR Geiger blush, are you really doing art?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. So what's the type of art that you guys do not like doing, and tell me why, so I can do the funny and go. But hear me out though.
I do. I'm trying to think because like I'm trying to like break into more stuff. I've gotten better at Illustrator, which is good. I've gotten a bit better at environments. Probably crowds, like specifically like crowd scenes.
Yeah.
I hate those because then I just end up doing like a block, like shape, and then doing like little circles to show the heads. But jungles, I hate palette knife painting. It feels bad to do. I love palette knife painting. This is where we're different. It's satisfying.
Did you know that you can utilize palette knife techniques to draw up crowds really easily?
Oh my god. Am I about to learn something that's going to make me want to just throw myself in a river?
Did you know that if you have a very broad brush or, you know, a palette knife, you can do one sweep downward to create a shoulder silhouette?
Hang on. Pause. I have something around here. Yes, palette knife. There we go. Okay.
So if you open up a new canvas, you can pretty easily draw a shoulder outline really quickly if you have a broad brush of some kind. You just pull it downward. It should be good.
Ooh. What if I take out the shape dynamics a little bit?
No, I meant like make it pretty wide, and yet they just put it and draw downward, and you should get like a good shoulder layout, and then do the neck and then the head, and you should be good. Like if you think about it, when you draw silhouettes of people, you just do a rectangle and that's the torso.
It is true.
Yeah. So very easy square layouts like this could easily create a bunch of people really quickly. And working with values and shifting the values. So perhaps the furthest back people aren't darker, they are bluer. And the closer you get to the camera, the more like green maybe they become, or maybe the more like red they become, and whatever. And thus you can create a fake layout for depth in the whole thing. It's pretty cool. I like that these are like built-in things into CSP, and that you can quickly utilize them to build up little cool things. Utilize your brushes, people.
So
Yes.
cool.
Use your
Yeah.
brushes. Cityscape.
I'm still personally in the experimentation phase, but I have taken art classes before in the past, and have like I've decided I'm not a fan of realism. Like I've studied anatomy to the point where I can understand what goes where and all that.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of realism or soft shading because my brain hyperfixates on, okay, I gotta make it look right, I gotta make it look right, I gotta make it look right. 5 hours later, okay, I finished shading the thigh.
Actually, I know the perfect one. All right.
So I'm someone that likes a little more, I like a couple of my art inspirations beyond Sushi Okubo, Takehito Harada, Gen Kobayashi, you know, just like some of the, like Soul Eater, Disgaea, The World Ends With You. I like, you know, cell shading, pop art, that kind of stuff.
Have you ever done economic line exercises?
No.
Right.
Never heard of those.
Right. So basically, the economy of line is trying to get the essence of something in as little work as possible, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I know what that is.
Yeah, but like if you do the exercises quite frequently, then you will kind of become used to like doing stuff in a way shorter time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just becomes like second nature. Like that's basically what I did during my degree when I was at uni. Basically, we did a lot of like, you know, economy of line, timed exercises. We did do life drawing, but you know, when we first started, we had the same issue as you, where it would be like, oh, we got to get everything like perfect, blah, 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 keep redrawing the same titty like 5 times, that kind of thing. Nah, it's all about just trying to get like, instead of being like, you know, I need to get this perfect, and let me just quickly demo on this bit here. It's like, hang on. It's like, you know, I gotta get this thing perfect. I gotta get like that line in. Line economy is my beloved. Yes, Windy sucks. Very epic. So instead of being like really slow, and you see how kind of it ends up a little bit jittery. Instead of being like that, you kind of go like, and then it's like, you see how like a lot more confident that is, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and then, you know, do that, and then, yeah, little titty there, little titty, as a treat, we're learning. And you see how, like, I get the essence of, like, a chest, like, pretty quickly?
Yeah.
Like, when I was younger, like, that would have taken me, like, 5 minutes. 5 minutes to, like, sort of commit to and just be like, okay, I want to do this, I need to do it.
Exactly. It's about showing off the visual of the thing rather than through pure details.
Yeah, so...
one of the coolest ways you can do it, if anything, is to be extra expressive with your proportions just to make people realize, thing! Like you do not need to make hips like fully proportional to a body to make sure that if that is important, or perhaps a character's hands are really important because whatever, you can then utilize these same exercises in that if you want to express a character through as few lines as possible, you can now start to apply value to them through as few lines as possible. Like a craftsperson probably has really important hands, so focusing on positions where their hands are in focus, or like putting a little bit more detail on hands, then becomes an important piece of it. Like being able to express ideas in as few lines as possible becomes really useful.
Yeah. So one thing I'm gonna do actually as like a demonstration, right? One thing that always was like my fallback, like when I just want to just draw something, don't want to think about it too hard, whatever, is eyes. You know, so like eyes are really good because it's like, you know, it's some lines, some circles, highlight, shading. You got a little bit of everything in there, but they're very simple to do once you get used to them. Yeah. So back when I used to draw them, I'd kind of go like, you know, I want to make sure I get that right. Actually, no, what I would do first is I would do like a square, because this is when I was doing like anime eyes. Because have you guys ever heard of like Mark Crilly?
Heard the name.
Yeah, because he was like a massive like Western anime like mangaka, like cartoonist type person. And what he would do is he basically done like a bunch of tutorials on how to actually draw like, you know, anime and manga. And like he would do books and stuff that my grandma bought me because I was like, Grandma, I want to learn how to draw like the Japanese, please. So then, you know, I would do like the big dash at the top, but then it would be quite, because I wouldn't be too sure on how to like do it like confidently, like that. But then I'd kind of do that, and then I'd kind of like do a tick down there, and then I'd color that in very slowly because I don't want to color outside the lines. Do a little bit there, and then I'd do the big oblong, erase that, do it like that, do it like that, and then I'd do like the sort of like cross hatching here, and then I'd kind of like that. And then I would erase like the pencil line underneath, and then this is kind of what I would end up with, right? Now, if I was to draw like an eye today, it would be like, what? So, like that. And then I'd get like the little tear duct down there, tear duct there. Then we've got a little bit of a highlight there. And then little fold, maybe some oh, not that one. Some eyelashes. Maybe a little bit of there, maybe a little bit of crow's feet, and then take it off at the sides. And there we go. So you can see, like, that was this one was, like, way faster than this one. And you can see, like, with this old one here, like, I was very, you know, it was shaky, like, the lines aren't very, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so confidence with your line ends up with you having like a lot better idea of like where to place things, like how things are going to look, how things are going to go, and it also gives you a nice little swoosh. And the way to get confident with that is with economy of line practice and basically just practicing in general, to be fair. Yeah.
That's like gesture drawing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Gesture drawing.
See, I'm fine doing those. I just like it. The thing I did not really enjoy. Well, it's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just that doing it enough, I kind of realized it's just not a technique that I'm really. I really don't want to employ at the moment. Like, I just want to do my little, you know, silly, exaggerated manga pop art kind of stuff, and something that's easy for me to put out.
Yeah, but
as opposed to.
Yeah, I think just what I'm saying is like, it's genuinely just a way of becoming efficient. It's not encouraging you to do realistic. It's encouraging you to.
I actually love doing gesture drawings now.
So doing this again, like that, like that. But this also shows like with the gesture, it makes the more anime looking stuff look much more polished and a bit more better. Do a little anime nose. And then anime mouth. Like that. But you see what I mean, right? Like, having that kind of skill will help you become like a faster worker. And like you said, you want to do a webcomic. This will help you become more efficient at drawing webcomics.
I'll have to ask you to like show me like some any like articles or passages on that.
Yeah, I can pop you some off after the stream, I reckon. Yeah.
Absolutely after.
Yeah. But yeah, like, it is genuinely like such a nice, efficient skill to have. Because it does make life a lot easier and you can do more with less time, and that's always really helpful. Yeah, would you agree, Salty?
I would agree. Also, in terms of coloring any type of eye, it's very easy to do. A lot of people do not know that it's very easy to do. I will screen share real quick in case you want to put it up. And whatever. Let me share my screen. Ah!
Let's see if we can have a look.
My big goal is going to be just to have other people like come up to me like, "Hey, your art inspired me. Your writing inspired me. Your ex inspired me to get into this, and I just wanted to be more like you."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna see. Is it alright if I actually stream your stream, Salty?
Yeah.
So the rest of the people can have a little look?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna do.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just wanted to double check. Yeah.
You know what, Paige? To touch other people's lives in a positive manner is the greatest joy one can hope for. Also, I'm back.
Also, you have returned.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Tell me when you have it up on stream. Wait, I can see the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to say anything. Oh my god.
There we go. Okay, that should be good. Let me just transition over.
I've had some people already tell me like, "Hey, Paige, your voice lessons have already helped me a lot with my voice training." I'm like, "Oh, fucking thanks."
Okay, everyone. So check this shit out.
Check it out.
So we do a little funny, right? We'll do a little funny eye, right? We do a little funny. Okay, so the cool part about eyes is that when you draw eyes, you can do them really fucking basic like. But the coolest part of making eyes is that when you decide to make an eye, you literally can do this. You take the base color you want. I will go with a little bit of a grayish green just to make this as a good example. And then I will take one that is a little bit brighter than, and just do that real quick.
Yes.
And then I will do a dark, almost blackish blue. And then I'll just do that on top of that. And then I'll take like, I don't know, green. And then I'll do this. And then I'll do one highlight. Done.
I'm taking notes.
Done. Look at that. 5 seconds, mate.
Yeah.
Easy.
Like,
Easy.
eyes become really easy when you know how to skip steps. And as Sophie has mentioned, speed becomes important. As someone who has been working in various types of games industries, and like thus also in the art industry, as I worked in the animation industry as well, one of the easiest things that allows you to do more stuff is to be fast. Speed is the key for an artist. If you're an hobbyist, whatever, right? Like whatever. But what I will say is that if you learn how to be fast with doing things very quickly, you will learn quicker you will know what you don't like quicker, which means that you can get done with it quicker, so you can do something else that you do like even faster. Like, speed becomes super useful within the artistry field due to the fact that experimentation is the cornerstone of art.
For the lesson.
Yeah, and that comes in all art forms, I think. Everything from writing, poetry, like vocalization, be that music, speech, whatever. Trying on different garbs, trying on different roles as often as possible is perhaps the most useful thing. Because if you realize that, oh, now I can use the thing I learned to do something else, is like one of the best things in the world, right? To expand your horizons. And speed allows you to do that more often.
Yeah, it's one of the best things you can set yourself up for. And it's also, it is difficult, like, to get started, but once it, like, clicks in your brain, it feels really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bike pedaling thing.
Yeah.
Analogy.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, one other quick tip for anyone here who likes to draw people: teeth and mouth shapes tends to be one of the worst problems for a lot of people. So here's a very quick tip. So if you learn how to draw teeth,
also you can draw a fucked up set of teeth, salty.
Yeah. But if you learn how to draw your teeth like an actual layout of teeth, and you know like how to set them up, you can do this cool thing where you then reduce the opacity of that layer, and now you can draw a mouth almost perfectly over them.
Yeah, that's always a really good skill to have.
Yeah, and then you just erase the teeth, and now you have like a mouth that looks very natural.
Yeah,
like
and
a mouth opening that looks good.
Yeah, and to add on to that, actually, once you figure out the layout of your teeth, and another thing that's also really useful is knowing the orientation of teeth wherever you move the head.
Yeah.
That's always super useful as well, because then it makes everything just pop a bit more. It adds depth. You know, it just shows off like the skill as well and the learning involved.
And one last bit for everyone at home. If you want to draw hands, one very basic thing for you to learn is that the base layout for hands, number one, for fingers, your first digit grade, also known as like the first bone in your finger, can easily be drawn as like an orange wedge. And then you draw an orange wedge, and then you draw a nub. And if you separate if you separate them, fine. But when you connect these, you realize how the finger is formed. Because then if you do things like, for example, you take this orange wedge and you take this orange wedge and you make your finger like this, like when you have your finger on something, you realize that, so this space will be more taut and this space will fold more. And suddenly you know like how to bend a finger properly. Like this looks weird, right? But if you then know how to form this further in and know that your orange wedge, quote unquote, will squish a little bit when it all forms together, you know how to draw fingers all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So that's one cool bit. And then like the fact that your nail goes like this on your finger is pretty useful. And last but not least, your hand is easily drawn like rectangle, triangle, weird square, weird square, and then you can like build from there.
Yeah, weird square. And I will say as well, on top of that, one of the best things you can do is not only work from like IRL reference images to like see how the hand works, but also your own hand. So if you just observe how your hand works, like how it bends, how it curves, like what tendons show up, like that kind of thing, like it also just really helps with like, you know, just practicing, because you have your own reference like right at the end of your arm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of artists get so hung up on hands, because it's like It's the thing you see the most of all the time.
Mm.
From your own perspective.
Mm-hmm. But it is, at the end of the day, just breaking it down into basic shapes and then building it back up again. Double squints at hand.
Oh, yeah, I spent 2 straight weeks drawing a page in my sketchbook.
Mm.
1 page dedicated every single day to just doing hand gestures and hand anatomy studies.
That is good.
Just to make sure I would understand, oh, it's box, wedge, like, oh, I need to look more like a box here, I need to look more like a wedge here, I need to look more like a circle here.
Yeah, and that brings us back to practice is key. Always practice every single day.
Always remember to eat more hands to learn how to draw them better.
Yes. Osmosis. Anyway, we're moving back to my screen.
Sorry, I distracted.
No worries, but we are fleshing him out a little bit. We're making him look a little bit demure over here. I don't know.
A
There's
sassy little twink.
Sassy little twink. Look how sassy he looks.
Ooh, I like how this
I mean,
is
if your twink
forming.
isn't sassy, is it really a twink?
I don't know. I think there can be nice twinks, even though
I know
that does
many
sound...
twinks who are not sassy.
Yeah, there are some non-sassy twinks existing out there in the world at this moment. I know that for a fact.
There's a lot of styleless twinks.
Mm-hmm.
Gormless, shameful twinks.
Gormless, shameful twinks. Oh my god, Leah's in chat, guys. Hello, Leah. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Leah.
Hello, Leah. Hello.
Hello, Leah.
Hello, Leah.
God, I love sassy little twinks. Same, however.
However.
I don't have a follow-up to that.
Hang on, pause everybody. Someone's yelling outside my house. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna have a quick look. I'm gonna report my findings.
Use the brick I sent you. Use the brick.
Yeah, I think one of the things I'm gonna have to practice a lot on is line confidence and weight.
Hiya.
So
Just a bunch of teenagers. I'm gonna yell at them. Hang on.
So Hoki,
Yeah.
quick question.
What's up?
Hey,
Why isn't Pharaoh dark type?
Are you right?
Why isn't Pharaoh?
Alright.
You mean Pharaoh Timotep?
Yeah.
No, Pharaoh.
Sleeping at the moment.
What?
Oh, Pharaoh. I thought
Like
you said Pharaoh.
yeah,
I
like
thought you were talking about White
Pharaoh
Pharaoh.
and Pharaoh. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. If you go back up, there's a park up near the top there.
You know, that's a really good question. My answer to that is because it came out in Gen 1. They're not going to retroactively update its typing for something that's not a really new type, like they did for Fairy.
But they
Unless
did
they
it
do
for
a
steel
regional
type.
Yeah, they did.
Alright, I'm
did?
back.
Magnemite.
Okay, but Magnemite makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
inarguably, it should not be anything other than a steel type and electric.
Have I walked away for 2 fucking seconds and y'all were talking about Pokemon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Why wouldn't we?
I mean, I'm not
frame-perfect
surprised.
RNG manipulate.
I'm not surprised. Also, there were like 5 really drunk teenagers outside my house and they were loud as fuck, so I told them people were sleeping and then they were really apologetic.
Oh.
Yeah, go for them.
Yeah.
I love drunk teenagers here. They don't usually apologize.
Yeah, I love England.
Usually when we get drunk, anyone over here, they whip their phones out and start recording us.
Exactly.
Really?
That's awesome. I'm calling the police. I'm a narc.
Fucking hell. Yeah, no, with teenagers, usually they just go out into the park and drink, and they gotta be quiet when they come home, otherwise one of us might know their parents, so...
Oh, yeah. Everyone knows somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in my town, where it's like a little bit smaller, but yeah, it's fun.
Everybody knows your name.
Yeah, and I might recognize you, mate. We just get tweaking teens and said, I mean, yeah.
You're like, what are you gonna do, bro? You're gonna tell our parents? No, I'm gonna come down and fight you, square up, and then fail to win the fight against 5 drunks, and then refuse to post the video.
Refuse to post the video.
Hell no, I got my ass beat. I ain't posting that.
But yeah, no, I told them, yeah, no, people are sleeping on the street now. I think it's best if you move on if you're gonna be loud. There's also a park just up the road, so just go up there. And they were like, oh, thank you, we're really sorry. We're really sorry, we're moving on. It's just banter. It's just banter, innit?
It's just bounce, mate.
It's just bounce, mate.
Bounce, mate.
Anyway, they're fine. I think there must have been like some party at the hill next to me, so...
No, call the police, Sophie.
No, they won't
Put them in a
fucking care. They won't fucking care. They're just gonna have a talking to, and then they're gonna be like let off to go back to their parents.
Then you will have more bricks to throw.
Yeah. Yeah, alright, so I kinda wanna figure out like what else to put in the pile, in the Dragon Horde pile. The hill, ominous. I mean, Dublet, I'm just saying, like, in England, it's either a park, national park, or like a hill, or like a grassy hill where people just go to get drunk. It's not that difficult. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what else to put in the Dragon Horde pile. Like, I need some, like... Ooh, chat, actually, I have a task for you. Everybody. Can you guys send me some, like, American, like, vintage objects?
So
When
the
you say
thing about
American
that...
vintage-
What? What have I done? What war crimes have I committed? What have I done?
How vintage? What are we talking about?
We're talking about, like, you know, like, maybe, like, porcelain, like, you know, like, china bowls or something.
Well, material vintage, not period vintage.
Yeah. I'm talking about, like,
Because,
vintage materials and stuff. Like, stuff you'd find in an antique shop. How
the
racist do you
US
want your
will do
vintage?
quite a lot.
No racism, actually. I would not like my vintage to be actually, no, not too racist. No racism.
I wouldn't like it to be too racist, but if it's just racist enough...
No, do not claim this.
Right,
You'll
we'll
regret
get some
this.
tastefully racist things from
No,
this
no
viewer.
racism. No racism.
Like any particular
please.
period.
Like maybe some colonial. Like I wouldn't mind some like no racism. No fucking
You
racism.
just said colonial.
That's
No.
super racist.
No, listen. Like you can have a wardrobe, and it doesn't have to be racist.
Yeah, it is. It was built in the back of dead people.
No, I regret this now. Yes was right.
You should.
I mean, we went through a different style every decade.
It's true.
I mean, yeah, but like I just want like stuff that looks old. Give me old shit.
Why?
I mean,
Because
something from the
I wanna
90s
put it in
looks
the
old
Horde.
compared to today's standards.
Mr. Parker Knickerbocker and the fucking Knickerbockers are not gonna deal in 90s fucking shit. It's 2006 page.
That is correct.
Okay. Okay.
My grandma has a butter barrel. Eve, can you describe what a butter barrel is?
A
That
butter
sounds
barrel
fun.
is exactly what you think it is. It's a barrel in which you make butter. It's where you churn butter.
Oh, that's pretty cool actually. I might look
Yeah.
that up. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eve. See, someone gets it. Someone knows what I'm on about. Guys. Stop the racism and find me more butter barrels.
So, complete non sequitur here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any interesting relatives in history?
Ooh. Interesting relatives.
No,
Speaking of like vintage and all that.
No. I know that like my great grandpa was kidnapped from the Sami people
Yeah.
and like placed in a family and was like, you are Swedish now. And they went like, dude, I was always Swedish.
Yeah. It's pretty fucked up.
I know that part.
Well, trying to think. Because unfortunately my family, my dad's side of the family came to Australia
Mm.
back in the fairly early colonial days. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we did have farms,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
To be fair though, I only found out recently the actual like depth and horror and shit like when my cousin told me when we were away from the rest of the family. So thanks, cousin.
Thanks for unveiling the secrets.
Thanks for unveiling the secrets, cousin.
We love it when the cousin comes with the secret unveilings.
When the cousin comes with the insane lore drops.
The cousin's got the secrets.
the cousin secrets. I sent you a prime historical object on Discord. Did you now? Oh, Leah said shiny cigar box. Oh, what the fuck, yes. Cigar box. Also, Years just sent me fucking something. Hang on, I'm gonna show you guys on stream because this sucks. I mean, it's great and it sucks. Look at this fucking thing.
Let me see here.
Had to be on brand. Skeleton tree coated.
Oh,
I might actually include this. This is very funny. And yes, you're right, yes. It is also very on brand. I just remember seeing the edits of it, to be fair. Alright, so we got that. We got shiny. We're gonna put that down, like, here, I reckon. And we're gonna remove the Parker for now, so that we can have a better idea of composition.
If you want, like, things that are usually sold at, like, antiquity shops and such, there are a bunch of them who take in furniture and especially cutlery.
Oh, I love me a bit of cutlery. I was thinking, actually, for, like, because I just needed, like, some slightly larger things here. So if I put that there, then I have a good idea. But for cutlery, right, Salty, and this is what I'm planning, this is what I'm thinking.
Have you thought about grabbing a copper still?
Cutlery
box. So maybe, like, yeah, like a cutlery box there. But maybe it's a bit tilted. But maybe it's kind of tilted so that the cutlery's kind of falling out a little bit.
Yeah, I send it to all three of you.
Cutlery box. Cutlery box.
Cutlery box.
Cutlery box.
Of course, there's also like storage units of various kinds, like coffers and
also,
you know, crates and such.
Yes. Also, this is what Hulky sent to me.
A nice.
We got some turquoise steamer trunks and turquoise.
An old cash register.
Yeah.
Adding machine, but
Ooh.
you could use it like that. I don't know.
Could you? Could you really?
My grandmother has one of these.
American adding machine.
Hulky as cash register.
Uses the Hulky as the cash register.
Yeah, I put money in him and he goes ka-ting. I swipe the credit card and he goes ka-ting.
He just makes that noise naturally. Alright, let's see.
I'm just doing these things. I don't have any power over it. I can't control it.
Can't control it. Oh, this was the jukebox. Okay, yeah, I see. I'm perceiving. I'm recognizing. This is actually quite funky. I like it.
A
see,
new warrior has
this is very good.
The rig.
A new champion has touched the beacon.
Shut the fuck up. Oh, put a jukebox in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Hulky sent in a really nice one. I'm gonna do that. Let's see, what does chat say? Let's see what chat says, everybody. Oh, God. Okay, shiny cigar box. Antique wooden elephants. A cat clock. Oh, the cat clock. Yeah, no, I have seen those. Cat clock. Vintage. Oh. What, so like, Swinny, so like this little thing.
Let me see if I can find one for you.
Yeah. Epic. Alright, let's see, what else? What else has chat been saying? Butter barrel.
The only reason I'm grabbing this so much is because, I found out that my great-great-grandmother great-great-grandmother, used to be one of the personal bootleggers for Al fucking Capone.
What the fuck?
Really?
Holy shit.
That's pretty neat.
That is pretty neat.
Her kids were allowed to call him Uncle Al.
What the
my God.
fuck?
And she was notorious for beating his ass and anyone else's ass in poker.
Nice.
Holy shit. Fucking hell. That's a story. Oh my
That's
god.
really cool.
That is very cool.
So I'm just sitting here like, what do you like my grandma tells you this story, like, so you're telling me your great grandma was probably a notorious criminal?
Huh? You got that criminality. You got that criminality, mate. Listen, I can say I'm Australian. Trust me.
Yeah, that was honestly pretty cool to learn.
Points of page. You have the criminal blood in you.
The criminal blood.
Let me tell you, I'm ready to continue running the family business.
By the way, what is the thing you sent me, Paige?
That is a copper still used for moonshining.
Oh, this little
back
thing
when
here.
alcohol was super duper fucking illegal.
Damn.
And the reason why tipping became such a big part of our culture in the U.S. because they made alcohol illegal.
That's crazy. Imagine alcohol being illegal. Couldn't be me.
So they wanted to try and make America. They wanted to try and make people more pure. They wanted to make it like more. We want this to be like a good Christian nation. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Dumb shit.
So
basically.
they made it illegal to sell booze unless it was a specific day, right? So restaurants whose like a lot of their revenue came from that.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, you just gotta just try and upsell a couple of things, or like see if you can get them to tip you. Like tipping was not viewed favorably back then because it was viewed as like a bribe to get better service.
Oh, I see.
And then with the advent of prohibition, tipping became more commonplace just to make ends meet and help like the restaurants stay afloat so that they could keep their jobs.
Holy shit.
And then once prohibition ended, they're like, hey, you know what? Let's keep this system and let's gouge our service workers.
Yeah, very funny, very American type problem solving.
Do you already have a globe?
I do not.
You need one.
Can
the iconic antique globe.
Can you find me a little globe?
It's already in the sidebar.
Oh, is it the one that's like beige?
Yep.
Yes.
I love beige.
We had one of these globe bars for a while at my parents' house. I think it's since moved on to a yard sale like years ago. But I wish I still had it. I love that. It's so turn of the century.
Yeah. No, it is crazy. Like, I actually visited my grandma's house fairly recently, and she does have a very stylish little apartment, but there's so much that she had to kind of, like, leave behind because she was downsizing. I think... Actually, no. Thinking about it, I think she might have put a lot of it in storage. But she definitely doesn't have as much stuff as my Australian grandma did. Yeah, no, she had, like, crazy amounts of just, like, holdover, like, expensive stuff. And that's all in a shipping container as well. Maybe, yeah, steamer trunk can go under there, I reckon. Okay, what do you think, chat? Do we have enough bobjects?
Put a few more plates in there. Make them spill over.
Yes, I think plates is a good idea.
A tower of plates, and you can make it tip over. Put some momentum in the picture.
Put some momentum. Let's see. Vintage plate. Stacks. I need a good plate stack. I need a good plate stack.
Hey, did you enjoy your nap?
Is that the kitty?
The kitten has woken up from her nap and she is grumpy.
The kitty. The kitty. The kitty.
Oh, nope, she just flopped back over in a new nap position.
Okay, she was just adjusting. Okay, I think that should
Gets
be
up from the
fine.
pet bed, walks across the floor to a corner of my room, flops over.
Yeah, and then we're gonna sort of tip that a little bit.
Oh, everybody's home. Let me, I'll be right back.
Alright. The kitty. A tower of pogs. I think pogs are a bit too new. Blub. No, I did pop down the globe. I didn't pop down the globe. I lost track of the globe. I need to put it back down again.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. We're just out here. Just out here copy paste. Because you know what? References are king. We love a good reference.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that there, I reckon. And what I'm actually gonna do as well is I'm gonna sort of do like a white background here. Just so I can kind of like... I think what I'm gonna do... I'm just gonna copy this over here. We're doing it a little bit messy at the moment. It's fine. We're being a little bit messy. We're being a little bit schmeshy. What?
Oh.
You mocking me, Matt? You mocking me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit. Ah, it's okay. I'll let a little bit slide. It's fine. It's fine. Yes, we got that. Got that. Make you guys. Move that one down a bit. By the way, Zolty, you working on anything you can tell the audience?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm working with Sacred and Bird on a few things for one of their upcoming projects.
Ooh. You're working in secret.
That's right, in secret.
In secret. Secret artist. Salty job. I also have some, I mean, I guess the project has been announced, so I can talk, I think we can talk about it a little bit. We just can't show anything or, like, reveal too much.
Looks at Hulky. Is she gonna do it?
Is she gonna do it?
Am I gonna do it? Well, Rats to Riches has been announced on Patreon. So...
Min and I have talked about the bare minimum about it on some of her streams.
Yeah. I think as long as we keep it to that level, I think we'll be alright. But yeah, I am personally very excited. Because
Yeah.
I am really liking how it's looking, how it's turning out.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to be explored, I would say. Like, as a Fallout inspired project.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Ruby is sending things my way. Thank you very much, Ruby.
Put at least one cool sword in there.
Ah, cool sword would be good. Hello, Inday. Anyways. We were just
Fun to hanging out.
Thank
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Are you about to head off or?
No.
Okay. It just
showing my
sounded
appreciation. Goddamn.
it just sounded like you were. I'm sorry.
Let me appreciate you.
I'm sorry. But yeah, we were actually just about to talk about Rads to Riches. If you want to hear a little bit about it. I have so many. Do you want swords? Yes, Ruby. Please. Please. But yeah. Just gonna
I'm happy to hear fun story.
Oh. Yeah, so Rags to Riches, right? The Frostmourne sword. Funny. No. I think it's almost too old to be in the Knickerbocker collection. Too ancient.
No.
Too ancient, actually.
No, put an ancient bronze sword in there.
Oh my god, ancient bronze sword from Greece.
Just put it in there.
Who are you?
Oh,
I am
yeah.
from ancient Greece.
Seen the voice actor for Misty and Jessie passed away.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I saw that.
Fuck, August is taking everyone at the moment. I don't know what's going on.
Answer's so stupid.
Whoa. Okay, give me like a couple of minutes. Apparently we're gonna get a massive sword intake from Rubicante.
Oh.
Massive sword intake, mate.
Swords.
Swords.
Sarduka.
But yeah, no, so yeah, Rags to Riches, right? Very excited to do it. Erndl's gonna be the GM, which I'm also very excited for because he's really loving it at the moment.
Okay.
He loves a little bit of a role change. And yeah, I think he's like enjoying he is enjoying like the whole like GM aspect of it where he gets to like create and design and kind of be a bit more, you know, sort of like more like a driving creative force behind all of it. And I quite like it because I get to just work on briefs that he gives me.
I absolutely can see that. Like, I love being a GM now.
Yeah, like some people just suit being a GM, and I think Erndl is just definitely one of those people. It's pretty cool. I do miss GMing. Yeah, like I'm personally more of like a player type of person. Like I enjoy more the like following the story that's given to me rather than trying to make my own, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And I kind of follow that in a similar way with like my artwork and stuff. I love sort of getting briefs and sort of trying to push the brief and figuring out what I can do with a brief. And yeah, I don't know, Salty. Like I know you're very like creatively minded and you're very good at making stuff independently of a brief.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't know, what's that like? What's that like?
To make things independently?
I think, well, I do make stuff independently, but it feels more natural for me to like make it thinking about a brief, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I almost enjoy the brief more.
I like to work with people,
Mm.
but what I like more than to work with people is to make a medium in which people can express themselves. A good example of this being writing a tabletop role playing game versus playing in one.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, because like writing tabletop is interesting because there are quite a lot of things to just consider, I reckon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And like, what else is there? God, I can't really speak on it because I haven't even like played in like years, to be fair. I haven't played for ages. I need to play. Simple as.
Depends on the system you want to do. I've got access to quite a few. The one I'm really trying to get into, or like trying to understand a bit more, is Dungeon Make You. But god damn, is it hard to find an English translation that makes sense.
Oh really? Tell us more about Dungeon Make You.
It's basically like a Kingdom Maker game,
Mm.
except you are trying to build up into a dungeon, and like there's different like little path play styles that you can do, such as the dungeonification play.
Oh, okay.
Where dungeons are naturally continuously spawning in the world to the point that it is becoming it's viewed as a natural disaster.
Oh, okay.
And
Viewed as a natural
location can
disaster.
appear in anything. Like your fingerprint can start to dungeonify. And if it reaches a certain level, you have an avatar of the dungeon's boss spawn out of you and you become the dungeon yourself.
Oh, so it's almost like a disease as well.
Yeah, it's like a disease for the planet. Everything living on the planet. Like even writing, like if you're writing notes and all that and you just notice patterns starting to form in your notes,
Hmm.
you got to cross those notes out quickly, otherwise a dungeon's going to start forming.
Oh my god. So what that actually kind of reminds me of, like, in a weird way, like a zombie apocalypse almost, like the idea that the infection can come from within and
Yeah.
like be spread through just the most mundane of things.
Can I mention a thing for you,
Mm.
Paige?
Please.
And for everyone here, just on the
Mhm.
subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a tabletop role-playing game called let me see here, if I know my shit correctly. Let's see here. It's called Fabula Ultima.
Well, that's what I use for their page.
Yeah. So the coolest part of Fabula Ultima, to some extent, is of course the fact that there's a world building mechanic at the beginning of the game, since there is no
Mhm.
base setting. But what is really cool about like its sister game? If you didn't know that it has a sister game,
Uh, which sister game? I forget. Because I'm friends with the person that made Fabula Ultima, and they've made so many side games.
yeah, no, Fabula Ultima is awesome. I love Fabula Ultima, but it's super cool that you know about it. Like, I think that everyone in chat who likes tabletop role playing games, uh, you should look into Fabula Ultima due to only the fact that they have made so many parts of like what most tend to be like a part of your game, like the shopping session or whatever, into such easily like congestible features. Like it's
Mm.
a very nice game in general when you think about it, for things like
I don't
a lot of people, even
specifically.
people who play Fabula Ultima, don't think about the concept that that you do not need to buy health potions. You just write off on your item page that you take away a little bit of your backpack points and go, I have a thing. I want a healing potion, so I spend some of my backpack slots to get it.
Ah, backpack slot. Okay.
Yeah, and there's like so much that goes into it. Like Session Zero is not about you just meeting in a tavern and all that. Session
Mm.
Zero is not just you about getting into character. Session
Mm.
Zero is about you making the world, making the lore, discussing what people are comfortable with as players and all that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Discussing like what you want to do for the campaign, making up races.
Yeah.
If you don't want elves in your campaign, then you say that at the session 0 table, and then they aren't there because there's no base setting.
Ooh.
But Fabula Ultima then is really good at mentioning things like, try to not remove things, try to explain why they aren't there instead. And I like that part of Fabula Ultima a lot.
Yeah, so it's
I am
almost
shaking your hand on this.
yeah, so it's almost like the actual world building is like a challenge within itself. It's not just something that's completely up to the DM or the GM.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
It becomes a team exercise, and it allows for most of the players to know what the fuck is happening, like from just the
Mm.
basis of if like an example, if Hulkster, for example, makes a statement that there is an ancestry called the Dunglers, and
The
if the Dunglers
Dungler.
are like seafaring clam people, if that is what Hulkster wants, and then someone else brings up, I thought that it would be cool if a Dunkler was like the guy who found the first dragon in the world. Like the dragons are ancient sleeping worms or some shit, and they found
Mm.
Dunklers in the depths of the ocean and stuff like that. If that was something that Hulkster would like to have in a campaign, and someone else brings up that dragon part, and Hulkster then okays it, it's supposed to work even if Hulkster says no, I don't want that as like a basis, because the promise of or the premise of session 0 is that it should be as little no as possible. It should be oh, that sounds cool. Let's try to angle that somewhat, or like let's keep it open. Let's keep it. They say that they have found the first dragons, but it's not like, is it true? Is it real? And that's so cool, like as a part of most world building games. But I think Fabula Ultima does it really well in terms of being a successful game attached to it, and not just a world building system. But then on top of that, having a cool game with cool mechanics. But the best part of it is that it has actual good guiding language in the book. When you read the session 0 like stuff and like what they recommend for you to do, it's well written. Yeah, it's very beginner friendly.
It is a very, very like open and welcoming system. Like Emmanuel, when he was making the system, said he wanted it to be like more welcoming than 5e, but more broad with like how creative you can get than GURPS.
Oh, we have a message from Ruby. Pictures incoming.
Sophie, I'm so happy you and I can chat about Fabula Ultima. That is the system we play with for my TTRPG show on YouTube.
That's super cool.
Our current campaign is a guildcore like fairy tale / Trails of Cold Steels inspired world.
Yeah.
And I'm working on a side campaign with another group that's set in a prequel world.
Oh, like a prequel to what you are playing now?
Because someone finally asked a question, why is this world called Terra Arcanum Novus when Novus means new?
New, yeah.
And I'm just sitting here, well, boy, do I have a story for you.
Yeah. I think in general that if you guys like tabletop role-playing games and you want to mimic things like Final Fantasy to some extent, and like also things like, you know, Dragon Quest and similar things, like it's more Final Fantasy like 9 than anything else, but like it's hardcore Final Fantasy 9 vibes. But in terms of like the idea and the fantasy that that Fabula Ultima gives you are things like, it's a game where you feel like the actual parts of a bunch of old turn-based RPGs manifest properly without it just having the raw mechanics. Like, once again, the backpack system. Let's say if you have 3 backpack slots, that's not what you have, but let's just say it. If you want to then use a healing potion, you don't say, I buy a healing potion in town when you are there. You spend one of your backpack points and go, I pull out a healing potion.
Yeah, you've got a limitless inventory because the game caters to the JRPG players that are like, okay, I'm just going to have to hoard all this until the end of the campaign. And we have a homebrew world that we play with because inventory points will sometimes run thin depending on how long a quest goes.
Yeah.
If you're fighting humanoid enemies, after a battle, we'll do a roll to see like how many like inventory points they can pick out of their pockets.
Right, and you can even re-obtain those through like downtime activities like going fishing and stuff like that. And you can even, if you so wish to, thematically play an entire game where cooking is super important, and it is through cooking that you actively re-obtain like materials and your backpack slots. Its inventory is super useful in like all the Final Fantasy games and such, right? They're like core to the game to have things like a Phoenix Down or like, you know, an anti-plague when you fight something that is like, oh, this specific boss does a thing, you need to have it, or whatever. That is then mimicked in the game by going, items are super important, but you don't need to buy 12 fucking items and always think, oh no, what if I fight the big scary boss and I don't have my thing on me? You can always go, no, I have the inventory point, I can spend it. And the coolest part of it is that your game master can introduce new loot in the form of new consumables. So they all add a new thing to your list where they go, oh, you guys have like been introduced to the grungloids, and the grungloids have invented brown powder, and brown powder is like black powder, except it's completely silent. And thus it's like, oh, there's regular bomb that takes up an inventory slot, but for 2 inventory slots you can have a brown powder bomb that is completely silent, so it gets the benefits of it, but it's different.
One of my favorites that I've made was the Kraken oil lamp. Like, as a concept, it is just like any other regular oil lantern, except the light it puts out, quote unquote, is darkness.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Cookery
It's
system.
simple and it's super cool. But my favorite part about the system as a whole would have to be the bonds and like zero power system. Because you can do some like Chrono Trigger / Sea Star stuff where like these characters can use a special technique that's like their combo attack.
Yeah. The thing I like the most about Fabula Ultima, except for inventory system, I think that's like peak. It's peak role-playing game shit.
Oh, it is.
But because it feels good. It legit feels good. To some people it's like, but I wanna like have an inventory, and I wanna count all the coins I have, and I want to do all these things. And then you turn to them and go, this solves so many problems. It's easy to understand, and most importantly, it lets you use all of these interactive subsystems to like reintegrate into the inventory system. Shut the fuck up, it's good. But the 2 base things that a lot of people don't think about in Fabula Ultima that I love is that Fabula Ultima says at the beginning of the game, you are multiclassing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, like in the future, and they point a gun at you now.
Because level 50 is the max level.
Yeah.
Or 60 if you want to do like a prestige campaign.
Yeah, but 50 standard.
Yeah, 50 standard. And you can only take up to 10 levels in a given class. Before the game's like, okay, move on.
I just want to play tabletop RPG so bad.
Yeah.
God.
So one of my players took pilot class at the start in Fury.
Ooh.
And he started off by saying, okay, I'm going to use this to be like, I'm putting on an exoskeleton suit and all that. And like, just say it. He's a common writer.
Yeah.
Just a full-on common writer.
Hell yeah.
Whereas I've got someone that's like, hey, I'm growing all these plants and I tinker with all my inventory points and I make these super volatile, like, alchemic bombs. Like, if you can think of an idea, you can make it in Fabula Ultima.
It's kind of cool in the sense that there is no class role, so to say. And that's awesome. I love that part. Like, there is some lore attached to it a little bit, but as there is no base setting, you can go, oh, in this world, this class works like this, or like how magic works in this world, it works like this, or whatever. But due to there not being any base setting and whatever, it allows a lot of people to basically look at Fabula Ultima's class system and go, oh wait, there are no class roles. Like, there's no cohesive role-playing aspect to each class, meaning that I take the things in the class that I enjoy and then basically fuse them into the representation of my character. Instead of thinking like fighter and rogues or whatever, you think more like shield user and scholar. Yeah, so if you wanted to be a frontliner who uses a shield, that is one class. If you want to be a character who knows a lot about monsters, that's a class. And that is how you start looking at it. There are so many classes as well, due to the system being as open as it is, that the baseline for the game gives you need to have 2 classes at the beginning of the game. Like, multi-classing is core to the game.
Salty. Salty.
Yeah.
I hate to interrupt your yap session, but a year's fan art has hit your Discord.
What the fuck? Why is yours doing this? What the fuck?
What is it? What is
What
it?
the fuck is this?
What is it?
In the cheese wedge is this?
The wedge of cheese.
A wedge of cheese. A fan art has hit the server.
Oh, good. You put the skeleton chair in there.
I am. What, you think I'm a fraud? You think I'm a hack? You think I wouldn't follow the wishes of my beautiful, lovely audience?
No, not at all.
I hate this.
I'm just glad to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fabula Ultima is awesome. Go play it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gonna make him look a bit more haunted. There we go.
Like,
Give him haunted vibes.
Fabula Ultima is also super fun for people that enjoy world building and building lore and all that. And just, I wrote a 6,000 word document going over just chapter 1 of the lore for their page. Just to cover, like, this is the history of the races. This is the history of magic in the world. This is the history of the guild system.
You know what's really funny, Paige?
Yeah.
That's literally like longer than my university dissertation.
Uh-oh. Listen, I have a hyperfixation.
You got a hyperfixation and you gotta let it ride out, you know? You know?
One final thing I will mention about Fabula Ultima before we end this discussion is that you do not move.
You do not move.
Just
no movement.
Just like in Final Fantasy, you don't move.
You do not schmoove.
You don't move, which means that Fabula Ultima has like tags and status effects because, you know, that's how those games work. So they have tags and status effects. Flying is a status effect. And shit like that. So it explains it in that way, meaning that you can have an entire fight where you are in a carriage, like just riding down an alley and just away from this big scary monster, and you technically do not need to follow a bunch of mechanical layouts for speed and whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That makes sense.
Unless you want to do something specific and then clocks become a thing.
Exactly. Clocks being mechanics that are basically it doesn't need to be 12 pieces. It can be like 4 or whatever. But when something happens, it ticks down. And when it reaches 4, or if it like it's a 4-stage clock, if it reaches midnight, basically, a full revolution, something typically happens. And that could be like if you hit the big scary monster 12 times, or if you outrun it 4 times, you will like get away from it. Or if it finds you 4 times, or stuff like that, whatever. There's a bunch of those features. It's super neat. Like, and due to how easily explainable most of these features are, even though it's a little bit bloated sometimes, like in terms of features, due to the game itself being that way, it's very easy for people to learn new concepts in Fabula Ultima because they have removed so many other like universal ideas like positioning, movement, stuff like that. Due to removing all of those, you can fit in a bunch of extra mechanics without it feeling super bloated.
That looks... Okay, we're getting together.
Oh yeah, play Fabula Ultima.
Yeah, play Fabula Ultima. Go watch...
Yeah, play Fabula Ultima.
Go watch
There's
Index
also a free
Pages
book version of it.
streams.
Like, if you want to get into the game, there's a free version it's like a tutorial system. And then it's like, hey, do you wanna play the game more and like experience more of the game yourself? Here's the 3 core books that we have right now, soon to be 4.
But yes, go fucking follow Index Page because she does a lot of shit when it comes to Fabula Ultima and also some cool DM things and rating things, and you should follow her, yes.
Oh, you don't gotta shut me up, but thank you.
I will. Don't tell me what to do.
Okay, this is more of a threat, not okay, I get it.
Don't tell me what to do. Ooh. Okay, I need a bit more
Almost
trash.
done with the line art.
But yeah, we've been going for only 15 minutes off 3 hours, and it is actually a lot cooler than I thought it was going to be tonight, so my computer's alright.
Good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember, like, there was one time, like, I think, like, 2 weeks back, I had to just not stream because I was like, damn, my computer will not survive. If I turn it on in the seat, nah, son. It's not gonna go well.
It's not going well.
Yeah. Speaking of, actually, chat, I have a question for all of you. Would you be interested in perhaps, watching me play games with people? You know, something a little bit separate from the art stuff, you know? Yeah? Yeah, Leah says yes.
See it?
Yeah, Leah says literally me in summer.
Hey, Dinkum might. Fair dinkum to you.
Ah, listen. I need to buy it. I need to get it. And I think it would be quite fun to just have like something fun to do like in the week if, for example, I'm not really up for art, or like maybe just something just to do together as like friends. Yeah. That'd be pretty epic.
Friends are pretty fucking cool.
Epic.
But yeah, I'm currently looking at this this funny little game called Dinkum on Steam, which is basically like Animal Crossing, but there's better crafting, better combat, better exploration, and it's Australia themed. So it's quite funny. And very chill. So I think that could be quite cool. Definitely something to consider in the future then, if people are interested. But yeah, speaking of video games though, are there any that's occupying anyone's attention at the moment? Anything new, anything interesting? Street Fighter.
I am currently trying to 100% a roguelike called Chrono Arc.
Oh, Chrono Arc, eh?
God, I'm sorry if you heard that in the background. That is my dad sneezing.
Oh my god, that sneeze. That sneeze moment.
Honest to God, it sounded like a snippet of that soundbite. It was like, dude, what the fuck? That's immediately what I thought of.
That is our general response to him sneezing out of nowhere.
Like, God forbid the guy sneeze.
God forbid a man sneeze in his own house. Okay.
So if you know my fixation. You know my wretched fixation.
Your wretched fixation. Remind me. Remind me, mate.
Video game.
Yes, I know. Your addiction. You can say it. There's no need to be ashamed.
Hey, we don't need to attach those negative terms to that game. It's okay. It's okay.
No, it is an addiction.
It is
Shut the fuck up, Salty.
You're literally addicted. You're literally addicted, mate.
But other than that game, Another Crab's Treasure was really fun. It's super cute.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to do that. I'll be home late on Thursday. I'm thinking I'll come back and doing that after I get home and picking up where I left off.
Yeah, no, like I joined it for a bit, but then I had to do something called go to sleep, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see the last part. But what part did you get up to?
We made it to the city, and we got introduced to the giant isopod and his squid enforcer.
Oh hell yeah! You've been introduced to shit capitalism. Hell yeah!
I love it. It was great. So it's Another Crab's Treasure and Guilty Gear Strive. Slayer is fun. I love Slayer.
Yeah, you're playing Slayer. Hell yeah!
I want to get better at Guilty Gear Strive, but I suck at fighting games.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely more like an FPS person. Like, I tried picking up Baldur's Gate again because I'm finally in Baldur's Gate and I have been for like ages. And I tried playing again, but I just get so frustrated at like the more like the RTS vibe. But I do like it. That's the thing. It's lovely. Oh, hello, Astral Fire. Hello. Hello, Astral Fire. Hello, Astral Fire. Hello, Astral Fire. Also, Bajungle says Hulky's addiction to men sneezing.
That's not my thing. I don't like men sneezing. I don't like anybody sneezing. It made me so disappointed to hear that was a thing for some people. But you know what? It's the age of the internet. People are into everything. People were freaks even before the internet.
Schmeezing. Don't sneeze in front of Hulky. It'll be
Planning on
weird.
doing anything big yourself coming, Sophie?
Well, mostly I've just been working on stuff. But I don't know. I've kind of been like, you know, doing a bit more of the Long Dark. Quite interested in playing Dinkum with people, so that's kind of on the roster now.
Or Dinkum, do you?
I am really tempted by, I know I said this earlier, but I'm really tempted to play, Thank Goodness You're Here. Because I'm like, listen, I can probably translate a fair bit of this, I'm not gonna lie.
I've seen clips of it, and I'm just like, Sophie's gonna fucking love this game.
Oh my god, if you think I'm gonna love it, I think I'm gonna love it too. Like, genuinely. It's so weird, like, so Dinkum gets released, Australian game. Me being Australian. Thank Goodness You're Here gets released. English game, but like also literally where my grandma's from. It's weird. It's like they're releasing games specifically for my heritage. What's going on?
Speaking of releasing games,
They
good news.
should stop releasing games.
No. Okay, unlimited games. You get unlimited games.
Right.
But no bacon.
You get unlimited games, but what?
Unlimited games, but no bacon.
I can do that.
Or unlimited games, completely unlimited games, but no games.
What?
So you're just saying that I own a PS5.
I gotta show you this. This came from, like, I forget whose podcast it was, but the guy was supposed to ask unlimited games but no bacon, or unlimited bacon but no games, but he miswrote it, so it just comes through. You get unlimited games but no bacon, or you get bacon, or you get games, unlimited games but no games.
Hell no, not the unlimited games, but no games.
The concept of games, you literally just isn't that basically just being a caveman and just inventing your own games? But then as soon as you invent a game, it gets taken away from you.
That's right.
It's like Promethean fire, mate.
But
the closer you come to the truth of the cave, the more drastic the measure to prevent you from realizing it.
In good gaming news, the Hi-Fi Rush studio got renewed.
I saw that. I'm very happy for them.
I'm excited.
Cool.
Not only that, they offered all the jobs back to the people that lost their jobs.
That's wonderful.
That's very epic. I'm glad.
Rare capitalism W.
Rare capitalism W. Very rare capitalism W.
Big old Dubsky.
Yeah. Okay, so Leah reckons it's Schlatt that made that little mistake about the games and the bacon and the bacon and the games.
That does sound like a J Schlatt thing.
It does sound like a J Schlatt thing. Very funny. Thank you, Leah, for the lore.
Whenever someone mentions no more games or like something like that, that's the first fucking thing that pops into my head.
No more games. No more games. Oh, also.
Yeah.
God, you mentioned video games, and now I'm reminded of my time management course, that I took earlier. So, basically, chat. I was taking a digital marketing course, right? And one of the things that they covered was specifically time management. And you want to know how I know that they sold me some fucking good shit in that moment? You want to know how I know?
No.
The course leader has ADHD.
Oh.
Listen, that means they gave me some good fucking shit right here, mate. Right. So let me just crack out my notebook so I can, like, tell you guys what I've been learning today. Also, quickly, before we do, save that. Gotta save. Very important. You can hear me, like, rustling my pages a little bit. Yes. Okay, there we go. So, we have a few bits here. We have a few techniques that have been, you know, validated and approved by Ms. ADHD course leader. We love her. So, we got the usual. We got some bits, we got some pieces, but they love having, like, God, what's the thing where you take a letter from each word and it makes another word?
Mnemonic?
Yes, they like making mnemonics. So, you have shit like, the smart system, right? which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Right? Right? You following? So basically,
yeah, they did that in my work.
you just repeat these words to yourself.
I remember SMART goals. I remember SMART goals very well.
SMART goals, yeah. So that was one of them, and basically, it's like for breaking down like larger goals. So, you know, like what can you do? What sort of objectives can you make in that time? Like thinking of these words in mind, thinking of these definitions. Like, okay, what specifically can I do? Can I measure what I can do? Is what I'm gonna do achievable? Is what I'm gonna do relevant? Can I do this thing in the time I set for myself? So, you know, it's one of those things where like it sounds like common sense, but you don't kind of realize it until you actually get it taught to you, if that makes sense. You're like, oh, interesting. Another one, rapid planning method. Let's go. RPM. And basically it's literally just these 4 questions, right? What do I want? What's my purpose? Fun second question, that one. What do I need to do? What's my massive action plan? So the massive action plan is like what you think of after like asking yourself the first 3 questions. And basically it's like a simpler thing to do. So she did say that, you know, it doesn't work for her personally, but it works for people who just need like a little bit of a nudge. And it's like, okay, this works. Now this one right here, this one I'm like, oh, okay, this one's interesting, okay. So this is called the Eisenhower Matrix.
What?
The Eisenhower Matrix, because it was invented by Dwight D. Eisenhower when he was a commander in World War II. Ain't that neat? Anyway, so basically, I need to kind of illustrate it, right? I need to put my degree to good use. So basically, right, I'm gonna go back here. Basically, it is a quadrant, and we're gonna go for like a nice darker pink. So we got a nice little quadrant here. Sounds like a conspiracy theory name. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So we got these 4 quadrants, right? So we got do, we got schedule. Forgive my handwriting, it's shit, but you know what, it's fine. Delegate, don't forget the E, and eliminate. So we got these, right?
Yeah.
So for these, you have to consider like what you actually want to do and like what kind of qualities these tasks have for you personally. So for do, it has to be important as well as urgent, so you can't put it off. So this one takes top priority, right? Takes top priority. And schedule, this is important, but not urgent. So it can be done at another time, but it would be considered like, you know, second priority. Definitely under do, right? Now, delegate, right? So this one comes under not important, but it is urgent. So it's something that might not be like, you know, not super important to you. Maybe it's not super relevant to how you want to like, you know, finish up your steps or anything, like when you're doing an objective, when you're doing a goal. Yeah. So what you can do, if you're not super invested in doing it yourself and you can get away with it, you can delegate it to someone else. And that takes number 3. So these 2 up here, it's more stuff that you feel like you have to do yourself. Meanwhile, this one down here, it's more like, okay, I can get away with giving that task to someone else because they can do it in a certain amount of time and I don't have to worry about doing it myself and, you know, running myself ragged, all right? And then for elimination, as you can guess, not important and not urgent. And then that takes not only the lowest priority, right? But also you can, hang on. You can get rid of it if you need to. And that's basically how the Eisenhower matrix works. So you can kind of like put things in quadrants and actually figure out, okay, like this is what I want to do, this is how I get there, these are the tasks that take whatever priorities here. Now, that's not all we learned today, gang, because then, right, we had the really, really ADHD friendly technique given to us, right? And that is called the Pomodoro technique.
Oh, that's what I learned from Horatius.
Yeah, baby!
Really great guy.
Yeah, the Pomodoro technique. So basically, it's timing yourself in little chunks to get tasks done within a certain amount of time, right? Now, I'm going to be like quite kind and I'm going to show this fun little website that I found when I was doing my research. I should have... There we go. So basically, a good way to do it is to like not do like a constant resetting of a certain amount of time on a timer, but instead to have like different chunks of time. So then you're kind of gamifying it, like, oh, how much can I do in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes, or 27 minutes 50, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm just gonna share that link in there because this is a Pomodoro based timer. And this kind of helps you out, and it has like, you know, different settings, and it is very helpful. I did give it a quick go before coming on stream today, and it was really helpful. I think gamifying it does really help. Alright, and we got 2 more to go in my notebook here. Now, this is the funnest sounding one. This is the funnest sounding time management technique, right? And it's called Eat That Frog.
Right.
Alright, so Eat That Frog is basically it's a reference to an excerpt from Mark Twain. And the idea is doing the really unpleasant thing first thing in the morning at the start of the day means that the rest of your day is going to be very manageable in reference to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, so you just get the really shitty thing out the way first. You get it out the way, you get it sorted. You know, it could be, for example, like gym. It could be, you know, doing your taxes. It can just be like kind of unpleasant and something you don't want to deal with whatsoever. But as soon as you get it done, then you have the rest of the day to enjoy yourself.
Nice.
Yeah. So instead of like waking up and dreading about doing it for like hours, you just wake up, you get it done, you have the rest of the day to like, you know, give yourself a little treat or go and do what you want to do or like, you know, stream, for example. But yeah, I think that one's quite fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then last but not least, and I think this one's quite relevant, and this one sort of relates back to Pomodoro, right? This is Parkinson's law. Don't know why it's called Parkinson's law, don't ask me. The complexity of a task becomes worse the more time is allotted for its completion. So if you allot like way too much time for a task, then you're just going to use all that time anyway for that specific task. So, for example, if you give yourself like in a situation, let's say 2 months for a 1 month job or 1 month for a 2 week job, you're going to spend like a month on the 1 month job getting it done. And I know that some of us here, do like, we do like to get stuff done like in a timely manner. So we don't really do that, I don't think. But yeah, so basically you just sort of set realistic expectations for yourself and realistic timeframes for yourself. Don't overdo the time, because then you just kind of end up wasting time. But, you know, give yourself a little bit of leeway, like a little bit of like a wiggle room around a deadline, basically.
By the way, just wanted to point this out.
Mm-hmm.
I just posted the line art I think I did a good job
Let's
so
have a
far.
look. Oh my
Let's
god.
look at it.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my
Oh,
god.
it's looking good.
Oh, let's fucking go! Hell yeah! I'm also liking the
still need to
color
work
palettes.
on-
Yeah.
I still need to work on practicing with this new pen that I got,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I did a good job so
You
far.
did, you did. Like, the
Yeah.
line art's really nice and clean. It's very good.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, you don't
Good
have a
job.
lot of you don't have a lot of wiggle or anything. Like, you know, like wiggly lines, like where you kind of like end up drawing the line for too long. You don't have that going on, so it's really nice.
Which program is it that you're utilizing?
Studio Paint.
In the future, remind me that I should teach you about sub brushes, because sub brushes are awesome for when you are you want a little bit of dither, you want a little bit of sketchiness to like ends of lines, you want there to be a little bit of erratic chaos that you can control.
Yeah, controllable chaos.
Yeah,
I will definitely be hitting you up about that later if
Heck
you
yeah.
are perfectly fine with that.
that's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
we
I am
love
going to throw
learning.
this your way.
We love learning. Learning.
Let's see. If I remember how to do this right, I should use the wand tool. Select everything, invert the selection. No, not that one.
It kind of goes over there like that. And I do need to... I'm kind of like over sketching it a little bit, but you know what? I kind of want to figure out where things are going to go and how things are going to look.
Invert selected area. Oh, prefer to... For all layers. Turn off the palette. Off the thumbnails.
Hell yeah. Thumbnail. I think he kind of needs a little bit of like... I don't remember if he has a hat, but I need to have a look at the reference art. How he appeared in the episode. I love your little creature.
This is a snippet.
Which
are my channel mascots, you know, tying into the whole library thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're little dust bunnies that spawn out of some of the most beloved stories that I have on my shelves. And they tend to resemble the story they come out of.
Hell yeah.
Ergo, for this first little fan art I'm doing, this is a snippet of Hulky Crow.
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, fan
So
nerd.
sweet.
Fan nerd.
Get fucking validated, my friend.
Get fan arted, actually.
Oh.
There you are, one little...
And kind of pop him up. And then you can kind of balance over that a little bit. Get fanarted. Shut the fuck up, yes.
Line breaks.
Line break. I know that he does have a beard, but you know what? We're gonna just kind of shape that up.
He seems to be like purely shaven.
Whoop! We're taking that away. I'm just gonna have him screaming. Medusa type beat. Shut up. Oh my god. You know, I'm actually kind of glad I'm quite glad I'm streaming, because I think if I wasn't, I'd just be tossing and turning in bed right now.
Yeah. No, it's nice to keep yourself like, no, I was supposed to do this thing, and be that work, or like, no, I'm supposed to actually have fun this week. I need to play a game, and then you sit down to do it on stream, because then you know, like, you will do it for as long as stream is active.
Yeah, it's actually one of the reasons I started streaming in the first place, because I'm like, I kind of like it when people are like watching me in this way, where I can like just do something and then there's engagement and I'm also being held accountable by people watching me work. Yeah, to be fair, I also did that when I was in like study groups and stuff. Like I enjoyed that way more than just studying by myself. It's just a different vibe. I'm being conscripted to go pick up canes for the household. Y'all have a good rest of your evenings. Good night, dears. Good night, dears.
Good night.
Good
Get that
night.
canes for those caniacs.
God. So is like Raising Cane's like a fast food thing?
Yeah, they do like buttermilk fried chicken. I had them for the first time when I went out to LA, and they were pretty good.
Oh,
I think Cully's out here does a little bit better, but like for a chain, they're pretty damn good. I still gotta try like Zaxby's and Culver's.
yeah, I actually had Culver's when I went to Wisconsin. It's really nice. I really love the frozen
Culver's
custard.
is gonna either be really good or really bad.
Is it just dependent on which store you go to or something?
It depends on the store and the state, actually.
And the state? What the fuck?
Depends on like how close to the Midwest you get the Culver's from.
So if I go to Wisconsin for my Culver,
you are going to be treated to Nirvana.
I was. You want to know something really funny? When I went to like Chicago and Wisconsin, I ended up getting COVID, and I think it was before I met up with you, Hulky, when I ended up going to your spot. But I had to like quarantine for an extra day in my hostel. But basically, when I was quarantining in Wisconsin, because luckily my friend had like an extra room that I could just stay in while his roommates were like all right and just masked up. He ended up getting me like Culver's and putting it outside my door for me to pick up like COVID DoorDash style. And even though like I had to wait for it and like the custard did melt a little bit because it was like late like pretty warm autumn, it was one of the best things I had in my life.
Oh my god.
Despite having COVID and literally like spending like multiple days just dying inside, it was really good. And it was the regular vanilla frozen custard with no toppings or anything, and I was just like, oh, and I crave frozen custard ever since. But you know what? The Shake Shack in Hong Kong couldn't do it. The Shake Shack in London couldn't do it. I have to wait until I go back there. But yeah, no, frozen custard's sick. I love it.
Oh, I love frozen custard. Soft serve is goated.
Yeah, you just can't really get it over here.
Did you know that you can technically get the same texture of it if you have an ice cream maker that is proper?
Ooh.
Since if you think about it like this, an ice cream maker works in 3 ways. It has a chill mode, it has a ice cream making mode, and then you have the mode where it only spins. The mode where it only spins is for trash people. But
for trash people.
The thing is, if you cool up your ice cream maker before you utilize it, and then you pour all of your mixture into it, and you utilize Ben & Jerry's Sweet Cream #1 as your recipe, that shit is open, publicly open, by the way. If you utilize those ingredients and you utilize it in the way that you are, like where you temper the egg and whatever so it doesn't become scrambled egg ice cream, if you do that, your texture that you will get after your ice cream is done is soft serve.
Oh.
And then you are supposed to put it into the freezer so it can set and become ice cream texture. And it has like a way less since it has such a large like milk and cream like amount in it in comparison to sugar, it will melt really quickly, and it has no like preservatives in it, so it will melt really quickly. and it doesn't froth that much as like standard like bought ice cream does. So
Yeah.
it's like it's delicious to literally drink it like when you're done.
Yeah. Oh
like
my
if
god.
it does melt, it's awesome in a milkshake. But the coolest part about it is that you can technically, through an ice cream machine, within 40 minutes of wanting it, have soft serve.
Oh my god.
If you just get an ice cream machine, it will be a little bit, it won't be as smooth as soft serve, because soft serve typically uses, machines and whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those machines typically utilize it's not coagulated milk, it's condensed milk packets, and like flavor packets, and then you have milk tanks basically, and shit like that. Like there's an entire powder thing that it's how it works.
That's
Whatever.
actually crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. But you will get very close to soft serve, like at home in a good ice cream make. It's really good.
Oh my god. To be fair, I do severely miss Wisconsin ice cream. That should also change my life forever. Because, I mean, this was also the first time I actually went to America by myself and I could buy what I want, you know? Like, I can get whatever food I wanted. And it was just like, oh my god. The Wisconsin beer was great. The ice cream, I think it was where I was also introduced to maple pecan, like pecan, like flavor. Pecan. And then I also got really obsessed with the one in your area. And I was like, oh my god.
Oh, which one?
Remember we went to the ice cream store, like, when I visited for the first time?
Oh, yeah. Was that the one where you insulted the football player?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, now that is a story for another time.
That's fine. That one's still funny. He doesn't play for the team anymore.
Oh, yeah, he moved. Yeah, he moved, didn't he? Yeah, that's funny. I insulted one of the football players for Hulky's local team, and it was very funny.
It was really funny.
It was extremely funny.
He was a prima donna, so...
Listen, with a car like that, of course he's a fucking prima donna. Can't even pick a car right, mate.
God damn.
So, we were... My partner Sophie and I were going to an ice cream shop, and walking past this really nice car. It was a
it was a shit car. Shut the fuck up. It was a shit car.
Hold on. It was a brand new 2024 Rolls-Royce SUV. Like, kitted to the gills with, like, state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line add-ons. And he's taking a picture for it.
Yeah.
And as we're approaching... Sophie is like talking about, oh man, how like ugly these cars are and how people shouldn't really drive them around or something like that.
I'm a bit of a car snob, I will admit. I don't like SUVs with a luxury car, but it's a luxury SUV. I don't even like Range Rovers sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a snob. Anyway.
But we get up to the front of it, and it turns out that I was taking photos because it was his wife's birthday and he bought her that new car for her birthday.
Yeah.
Because he's a professional fucking football player.
Yeah.
So she's like bad mouthing it to this dude who is like making millions of dollars a year.
I don't care. She got a better car, mate.
Oh my god.
I still stand by that to this day.
Damn.
It was still funny. It's like, oh my god, no.
Also, I definitely didn't say it at him. It was more like in his vicinity, so he might have heard.
No,
he might have nodded.
To him. You were just walking up to it.
Hey man, your car's shit, man.
Yeah, it's car shit, mate.
Car's
Sorry.
fucked, mate.
Car's fucked. Get a better one. You can afford it, mate. You don't like the 2024 Kid Crusher? Shame. No, it was like a Rolls Royce SUV, so it wasn't like a giant ass, big ass, fat ass car, like American car. It was just like, it was like they sawn off the front. Okay, I'm gonna yell about the car a little bit, Hulk. I apologize.
Yeah, that's okay.
I still can't let it go. But basically, right, it was this it's like they took it's like they sawed off the front of a Rolls Royce Phantom, and then forcibly Frankensteined it onto the back of a Range Rover. So it just looked ugly.
I mean,
Listen,
it wasn't a Cybertruck.
It's, you know what, compared to the Cybertruck, it is an alright car. I was just spoiled because at the time the Cybertruck wasn't really a thing yet. I was spoiled by like
Spoiled.
I was spoiled by the lack of knowledge about the Cybertruck. But now, you know, now I look at that fucking thing and I'm like, you know what, this isn't as bad as the Cybertruck.
Nothing's as bad as the Cybertruck, save for maybe a Pinto.
I bet
Did
David...
you see that TikTok where they were trying to like do a strength test compared to of like the Cybertruck compared to a pickup truck?
Yeah, and the fucking frame snapped in half.
Yeah.
just completely made it absolutely worthless.
It's always been worthless. That just proved it to everyone.
Always has been, Guncox.
But I think just making it completely unusable in about half a second was very funny.
Yes.
The guy's face too sold it. It's like, my Messiah truck is just dead.
You know what that does? Makes it even like better if you think about it.
What's up?
Have you seen the Fortnite trailers for the Cybertruck?
Oh, fuck off. I also saw the Rocket League trailers.
As well.
Yes, yeah,
so... doorbell.
Oh.
If it's those guys again, I'm gonna come over and kill them for you, Paige. Trust me. I got you.
So when you and Erndale come visit later on in the fall, we'll have to go get some proper soft serve. There's a couple better places to go to get it. Yeah,
actually, we were just talking about that because turns out his family's really interested in meeting me because it's the other side of his family that hasn't met me yet, and you know, we're gonna go to an event where we're gonna see a lot of them, you know, fun. But apparently one of his aunts is like, oh, you know, I really wanna see this, like, you know, this foreign girl that's stolen your heart or whatever. Let's let me pay for your hotel. And of course Erndal's like, oh, like, I mean, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm really interested in seeing her, come on. And he was like, oh, okay, go on then. And now she's booked on like another day, apparently. She offered for like an extra day on top of the event. So it's just like, okay, looks like I might be visiting Canada as well, perhaps.
Ooh,
who knows?
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't been to like that part of it before. I've been to Vancouver, but not like...
Never been to Toronto.
No, haven't been to Toronto, no. So that'll be interesting.
It's fine. You've been to New York City, you've been in Toronto.
Neighbors were playing in the yard and they kicked the soccer ball over.
Funny. Just normal neighbor things. Also, I am really liking how all of these are coming together. I might see if I can find some more stuff to fill it in. But I am really liking how this is looking so far. What do you guys think?
I think it's pretty.
I think it's looking really cool.
Yeah. His horde. So what I'm thinking of as well, and I'm just going to sort of illustrate it. Right. I mean, not like I've been doing already, but if we go like, actually no, fuck it. We're not savages. We're going to use the lasso tool. So kind of like... like that. And then kind of like... and then maybe a touch of... so it's kind of like lighting up. So maybe like the light's coming from this direction. So then he kind of like lights up there. That stuff is obviously going to be made a lot better looking. And then we kind of got the stone going on here. Then we got the sword, jukebox. Sunken in stone expression there. Gilding on the frame. And then I'm thinking maybe kind of like a gradient where it just kind of just sinks down a little bit. You know, it's a big canvas when the smudge tool isn't... it needs to take its time. Come on. There we go. Okay. Come on, do your fucking job, blur tool. Come on, mate. Don't be a wuss.
It is one of the most important tools. It has the right to be a little bit of a diva.
Yeah. Proper diva like brush might. But yeah, similar like that, where it's kind of like shaded in a little bit more. Got some dramatic. But I like the idea of kind of like this, where it's like maybe like a little bit of half his face. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. And then thinking of like what you were saying earlier about framing the face with it, because I do like doing that. I'm a bit addicted to it. Am I stopping? No.
No.
Do like framing the face. So I think kind of like that. And then the painting in the back might have this hill that kind of contrasts against his like features here. So I'm thinking something like that. And then a little bit of shadow under the frame. But yeah, I'm thinking something like this. Obviously using the color palette you sent me because it is a fucking nice color palette.
Thank you.
But I do like the idea of this as like a composition. Maybe a little bit more up there. To draw the eye a bit closer. There we go. So more like that. What do you think?
I think that's pretty cool.
Epic. And I think, everybody, it's 1 AM. My boy's just come home from work. And I think we're at a good point to wrap up for the night. What do you reckon?
That sounds pretty poggy.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
I think it's up to you, considering it's you that might be exhausted.
True. But you know what, guys? Thank you very, very much for joining me tonight. And thank you, chat, for joining me tonight. We have gotten quite a bit, we got quite far in. We've had some very good contributions from everybody in chat. Yeah. And I cannot wait to see how this turns out. This will be very exciting. This will be very cool. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me again. Thank you.
It's been super cool.
Yeah, good having you guys around. Yeah, of course. You're always welcome anytime, of course. Holy moly, we got another follower and it's bloody Christy. Or however you say it. I'm just going to call you Christy. But thank you so much for the follow just before we wrap up. It warms my heart. It's going to give me lovely dreams at night. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.